national champions.
They are two of the most compelling words in hockey. Canada, Russia.
Here's another shot, right by the score! Anderson!
Ilya Kovalchuk wins the gold medal for Russia.
Lemieux ahead to Gretzky. Has Murphy with him on a 2-on-1 to Lemieux. And on goal, he shoots, he scores!
This is the greatest collapse in the history of the World Junior.
Tavares backhand towards the goal, loose puck, everybody scores! Tie game! Can you believe it?
Two of the greatest teams.
Sidney Crosby, a bouncing puck, he scores!
Two of the greatest rivals.
Alexander Ovechkin gives Russia a 2-0 lead.
Nothing more needs to be said except Canada, Russia for gold. Here we go again. "64 games, 17 days, 16 teams, 1 gold medal. Canada against Russia. It comes down to the dream final everybody's been talking about. Two of the greatest rivals head on. There is Matt Duchene a few moments ago in solitude thinking about this on the bench. As you can see, they're just filling the building at the O2 Arena in the Czech Republic. We'll take you there. Over the next 30 minutes, we've got a pregame show alongside Bob Airy, Dave Reed, Rod Black with you. What more can we ask for? Defending Olympic champions, defending world champions. Canada, Russia. To call it, Gord Miller and Ray Ferraro in Prague.
Well, prior to the tournament, all the talk about this Canadian team was about the depth it had up front and all the offense it could provide, and it's lived up to that billing and more.
It's really been an overwhelming offensive performance. Averaged 7 goals a game throughout the preliminary round, where they beat up some teams that just couldn't hang with them. But anytime they were challenged, they would pick the pace of the game up to a point where the opposition just couldn't keep up. Even in the semifinal win against the Czech Republic, a 2-0 win, they had 41 shots on goal. And anytime it seemed that Canada needed to cycle the puck, they were able to do that. If they were able to get out on the rush, well, then they have lots of options on the rush as well. You got Sagan's 8 goals and Spezza's 14 points, but it's Hall and Eberle and Crosby. It goes on. And then on the back end, that's led by Brent Burns, who's had a terrific tournament.
Now, once again, with the Russians, you don't really see what they're all about in the preliminary round. They lose badly to the U.S. They have to win in overtime against Slovakia. They lose in overtime to the Finns.
I've been playing against the Russians for close to 30 years, and you've never, ever been able to get a handle on what you're going to get from them. Always very talented, always very explosive, but they go through periods in a game where they look like they're asleep or that they retreat a little bit. Against the Americans in their semifinal game, they looked really frustrated for 2 periods, and then all of a sudden it's 3 goals in 8 minutes. And you're right, you don't know what you get through the tournament in this case, because they just got Alex Ovechkin the other night. So that's another high-powered offensive weapon for a Russian team that can score.
Since the IIHF went to this playoff format in 1992, Canada and the Russians have met in 3 gold medal games at the Olympics or the World Championships. The Russians have won all 3.
All right, thank you, men. We'll hear from them as we get closer to puck drop. Canada has more medals total through the years. Again, Russia, part of the Soviet Empire, more gold medals. And keep in mind, 2008, 2009, last 2 times these teams met, Russia won both of those games for the gold medal by 1 goal. And how about the story of Sidney Crosby and Alex Ovechkin? Picked up the phone, Bob Airy, called and said, hey, we're available. Can we play?
Yep, certainly that did happen. It was 27-year-old Crosby calling Jim Nill and saying, hey, I'm available. I want to go over there and win a gold medal. Ovechkin did the same thing with the Russian Federation. Battles between these 2 Rams. Yeah, they've locked horns before. Ovechkin, 53 goals this year in the regular season, 25 coming on the power play. Crosby, 84 points. They've only met in the playoff once. And Crosby's team went on to win that Stanley Cup. You see it on the left side down at the bottom. Ovechkin, well, he predicted they would get through the Rangers. It didn't happen despite the fact that he scored. He did all he could for his Washington Capitals team. Had a tremendous year, the 29-year-old, but is over here looking for another gold.
Well, you saw that goose egg beside Sidney Crosby for the World Championship. There's the Triple Gold Club, Stanley Cup, Olympic gold medal, World Championship. That's the idea.
And this is a difficult tournament to win because you have to be here to win it. And for Sidney Crosby, he's only been here once. And the only time that he was here, he ended up fourth. He has won the World Juniors. He has won 2 Olympic golds. He has the Stanley Cup in 09. Both he and Malkin share that. He has Hart trophies. He has Art Ross trophy. He's got all the trophies he wants, but what he wants to be a member of this club, a Canadian member of the Triple Gold Club. 8 skaters, 1 coach are a member of this club representing Canada, and this is what Sidney Crosby came to this tournament, was to win a gold medal at the World Championship. If you're good in the National Hockey League and you're on good teams, you don't play in this tournament because you're still playing in the Stanley Cup playoffs. For Sidney Crosby, he's hoping this is his last tournament. He's got a tremendous opportunity to be a member of the Triple Gold Club and win gold today.
What a team this is, this dream team. How about Todd McClellan, fired by the San Jose Sharks, on the employment line right now, I don't think for very much longer, and he's coaching this dream team for Team Canada. Here is Todd McClellan right now before this game with Brian Mudryk.
Todd, I know this is a game that you guys have worked so hard for. Russia, Canada, always a great rivalry. I know you have a lot of leaders in the room, but if anything, is there a message you want to convey to your guys before going out there?
Well, we want our guys to embrace the opportunity that's in front of us right now. We know we've got a big challenge with the Russian team. They're dynamic. They've got a lot of offensive players that can make you pay when you make mistakes. But this is an opportunity that we've worked hard for. It's an opportunity that we want to take advantage of, and we want to make our country proud of us. And I think we've done that to this point. Just got to finish it off now.
You're the home team. Is there any particular matchups that you'd like to see going your way out there?
Well, they've got 4 lines that can do some damage. We've got 4, so I think you're going to see a 4-line game. You're going to see everybody involved. This is our 10th game in 17 days. Same thing for them. So fatigue starts to take its toll, and everybody's important.
They add a guy like Alex Ovechkin to a already pretty potent lineup. Is he one guy in particular you have to keep your eye on as well?
Well, I don't think we can single in on one individual. Obviously, everybody knows that Ovi can score, and the dynamic part of his game, how he can shoot the puck. But they've got the Kovalchuks, and they've got Russian players that North American fans haven't heard of that are very, very dangerous. So their whole team is somebody we've got to take care of.
Coach, thanks for your time and good luck.
Okay, thanks.
Earlier today in the Czech Republic, Jaromír Jágr taking a look at those sticks. Final game at the Worlds, maybe, 43-year-old. Against the United States, Jack Eichel, the youngest player at the Worlds. Bronze medal game, first period. Eichel, look at this, in flight. Great move, denied later in the game. First period already 1-0 U.S. It's Eichel, some good work along the boards. Spins, centers for Trevor Lewis. What a beautiful goal, 7-point, 10 games for Eichel, USA up 2-0. Second period, Jágr. Perfect pass through the legs of Torrey Krug, but no. Connor Hellebuyck, 2 days away from his 22nd birthday, turns it aside. Later, here it is. The dagger, Charlie Coyle in the slot, buries it 3-0. That's how it ends. Czechs get shut out, second straight game. Yesterday by Team Canada, Team USA wins the bronze medal. 3-0 the final. A team of young guns, Bob Barry and Dave Reed, a team of 4 collegiate players, and a team looks like a future superstar in Jack Eichel.
Well, you saw some of the clips of Jack Eichel right there. 18 years of age, Boston University. He's already got the Hobey Baker in his pocket. Talk about vision, supporting his team on the rush. Look at that quick move. How do you do so good with the stick? Looks like Forsberg a little bit there. And his elusiveness, the way he protects the puck, the way his vision in front of the net, he brings a lot of players towards him. He can pass, he can score, he can skate. He's a can't-miss player in the National Hockey League, already proving he can play with these big boys. And it was really entertaining for me to get my first look at Eichel. And, people talk about him being behind Connor McDavid. It only bodes well for the National Hockey League moving forward to have these two tremendous assets.
If he's behind, it's not by much, by the way. Great matchup in net. Winnipeg Jets, present and future. Andre Pavlik had a great tournament. He's the loser today. But Connor Hellebuyck, who played in St. John's with the Ice Caps this year, was the winner in a shutout.
Amazing. Connor Hellebuyck is the number 3 goalie for the Winnipeg Jets. Had a tremendous year in the American Hockey League in St. John's. He represented the Eastern Conference in the All-Star game, was the Mike Richter Award winner in UMass Lowell. The best goaltender in the NCAA. But how about this young team? You've got Mike Riley, who is rumored that he was not going to be signing with Columbus. He's going to become a free agent. You've also got Dylan Larkin, 15th overall in 2014. This is a young team. You had 2 KHL players, Steve Moses and Dan Sexton. Jim Vesey also didn't play in the final game, is an NCAA product. 4 NCAA players, 2 KHL players. This team was led by Jack Eichel. This is a group of players that you've got to give Todd Richards total credit for getting them to the bronze medal game and then winning the bronze medal in Prague. Fantastic day for Hockey USA.
Nah, not so good for the Czechs. They didn't bring it today. You would have thought in front of that great crowd. Well, the final rankings, you can see who's going to be number 1 or 2. This is how it plays out right now in the World Hockey Championship. Waiting to see if it's Canada. Waiting to see if it is Russia. The gold medal final still around the corner. We're about 35 minutes from puck drop. Moments ago, Captain Crosby, Sid, back at the Worlds, looking for that final piece of the triple gold club. Ryan O'Reilly, Team Canada getting ready.
It's shaping up to be a great one, as you would expect with Canada and Russia.
Kovalchuk in, shoots, scores! Ilya Kovalchuk wins the gold medal for Russia. A loose puck, everybody scores! Tie game! Can you believe it? Tarasenko ties it up. Barron gives the Russians the lead.
This stunning collapse has silenced this building. This is unbelievable. Just another Canada-Russia classic. The rivalry for the ages. Russia will play Canada for the gold medal at the 2015 World Hockey Championship.
Here's a guy who's been very good in this tournament, Matt Duchene, on the ice warming up. 30 minutes away from getting it on. Gold medal game on at the Worlds. Canada's loaded offensively. Look at the top 4 leading point getters. Jason Spezza, Taylor Hall, Jordan Eberle, then Matt Duchene. Brian Mudrick's been a busy guy in the Czech Republic. Earlier, before warm-up, he caught up with assistant captain Dan Hamhuis.
Dan, this is what you guys have worked so hard for on the eve of the gold medal game, Canada, Russia. How do you want to see you in the squad to come out in the first 20 minutes and ongoing in this hockey game?
Yeah, we've prepared for 2-3 weeks to get to this point, and I think we're a confident group. We believe in our team and believe in our team game, and we think that's how we're going to beat them.
You're a guy who's won a world championship before. Do you feel any of the same maybe feelings coming forward in this tournament with this group of guys and this experience this time around?
Well, they're all different. They each have their own feel and own group of guys, and this is a special group. I've been a part of a lot of teams with Team Canada, and this is a special group, and it'd be great and love to see these guys win together.
Russia will be a tough test. They have a lot of firepower, just adding Alex Ovechkin as well. I mean, you've seen a lot of these guys before. What's important from a defensive standpoint to try and shut these guys down?
Yeah, they have a lot of firepower and a lot of individual skill, and our focus will be shutting them down as a team. Group of 5 guys out there working together.
Thanks for your time and good luck in the gold medal game.
Thanks.
He's getting ready to play hockey, right? He's such a soft-spoken guy. Dan Hamhuis been a terrific player in this tournament. Really, the blue line could be a major factor. You do all the check marks, offense, firepower, goalie, yada, yada. Defense could be a difference.
Yeah, not just the blue line, and really the team defense for Canada. What they've bought into, the same model as they did in Sochi in the Olympics, it's defense first. Watch Crosby on the faceoff. He's going to insulate that defense. He's going to mind the front of the net, let the defense seek their one-on-one battles. Keep the opposition to the outside. There's another battle, one-on-one. One-on-one. Keep everything to the outside until you get that stick on puck and you can break things loose. Just keep it to the outside, one-on-one, no chasing around. And then what do? You collapse to the house, one shot and done, no second opportunities, and then you're off to the races. Russia, on the other hand, loosey-goosey. There's a man one-on-one. All of a sudden, another man focused on the puck. Wide open, Team USA. And this is where USA exploited Team Russia defensively. Everybody focused on the puck, the back door wide open. You do that against Canada, the Russians are going to pay. U.S. did not make them pay. That won't happen in the gold medal game.
Reader, they've got guys who can step up as well and step into the play.
Well, they really do. And, Bob, I like the way you talk about team defense. So I'm just going to talk about the defense. Yes, team defense in Canada is there, but it's the way that the defensemen play and jump into the offense for Team Canada that I have really noticed. This is Brent Burns. He is realizing that the Belarusian forward is not able to cut to the middle. And as soon as he cuts to the boards, boom, there's Burns, jumps to the middle, wide open, great read by Burns. In this play, great defensive posture by Team Canada. But watch right up top, Tyson Barrie forces that play to be dumped in. It gets right back to the point. Muzzin quickly gets it up, and watch Barrie jump into play. Tyson Barrie follows this play up and receives the pass from Ryan O'Reilly, who started in good defensive posture. The defense from Canada has been absolutely tremendous. Brent Burns has really stepped up and become an offensive juggernaut for Team Canada. Look at the defense, the points by the defense for Team Canada. And you not only, we always talk about Canada's offense, their forwards, their scoring, but the defense in Canada, not only getting it done defensively, but really getting it done with the puck and offensively.
Best beard in the tournament, too.
No question.
Right? Without a doubt. We talked about the Triple Gold Club being so important. Also, the IIHF Hockey Hall of Fame announced 7 inductees today, including Dominik Hasek, won 4 World Championship medals, 2 Olympic medals, highlighted by the Czechs gold in 1998. Also inducted Scott Niedermayer, who was represented by Hockey Canada President Tom Rennie. He was the 14th player to become a member of the Triple Gold Club. There's Tom Rennie. And Fran Ryder, inducted on the Builders side for her work towards the creation of women's hockey at the international level.
Inequity to it, to be honest with you. But that being said, a real honor and a privilege. Scott's an outstanding man, first and foremost, and one of the great players of our game anywhere at any time. What was really special, to be honest with you, certainly the Memorial Cup in Kamloops, but what was special about Prague in 04 was that he was here with his brother Rob, and his mom Carol was in the stands to watch her 2 sons play together for the first time and win a gold medal at the World Championships.
What a great honor to be inducted in a IIHF Hockey Hall of Fame, with other 3 women and the guys, with Scott Niedermayer and Robert Reichel, and the guy played one of my first games ever for the Czech national team, Lucio, from Italy. It's a very special day for me, to be, and great accomplishment, and surprised how I felt very emotional, to be honest. So I see some picture me from the IEDs, I was different goalie, a little bit slimmer. However, great memories. So many people you meet during your career, in the NHL, in Detroit, in Buffalo. What a memories for me, and to play against the best people and best players in the world.
Great comments. You saw Robert Reichel, Maria Ruth, also a great women's hockey player. How many times did Dominik Hasek stone the 2 of you?
I didn't get too many shots on him.
Let's talk about Scott Niedermayer, though. What an obvious superstar.
A phenomenal skater. I had, and Bob, you and I both played against Scott Niedermayer many times, but you talk about a total team player. Here's a guy who probably could have set records by defensemen for scoring, but because he played in New Jersey, he played the team game. He did what it took to win. That's why he's won with every team that he has played on at every level. 4 Stanley Cups, a member of the Triple Gold Club. I hated playing against the guy. I couldn't catch him. You had to give him an extra 10 feet because he was so fast.
What about the Dominator?
Well, I had the opportunity to play against him when he was with Chicago. He was a backup there. He was a backup in Buffalo when I was traded and playing behind Grant Fuhr. This guy was a risk taker, the rollover, the Dominator. And he talked about how emotional he was when he was inducted. That's why he played so long. This guy kind of reinvented the position. 6 Vezinas, 2 Hart trophies. This guy, he would force us to stand on the top of the circles and dare us with slap shots. He didn't care how close you got. Guys, you can't beat me. And we stood back and forth around the top of the circles, Rod. We could not beat this man.
If he wasn't a goalie, he'd be in the Cirque du Soleil. I'm convinced of that. Dominik Hasek, congratulations. He's been in the stands a lot. He'll be in the stands today. Jason Spetz has had a quality tournament looking for World Championship gold. Canada, Russia, we move closer to the gold medal game from Prague when we come back. Could be a big battle in net. Sergei Bobrovsky. Bob getting ready, coming off a shutout win yesterday over Team USA. Mike Smith had a shutout yesterday as well. The semifinals as these 2 teams get ready to lock horns in the gold medal game at a World Hockey Championship. First time since 2009. They also met in 08. Canada last won a gold in 2007. Brian Mudryk is ringside with a scene set.
Rod, thank you very much. Team Canada's offense has been dynamic. They come in with 60 goals in the tournament, but Mike Smith was the story in the semifinal. The Czechs came out flying. He shut the door. He is 7-0 at this tournament. His shutout streak at just over 137 minutes. In his World Championship career, he's 9-2, 3 shutouts, and a 1.60 goals against average. Meantime, Canada with some good experiences here in Prague. Back in 2004, the last time it was here, they won gold. I was chatting with Tom Rennie of the IIHF Hall of Fame induction earlier today. He was representing Scott Niedermayer, who goes in. Scott couldn't be here. However, back in 2004, Tom said he had the Niedermayer brothers, he had Heatley, who was the MVP, Mike Babcock was the head coach, and they won gold. Here in 2015, they'll try to do it again against Russia. Right.
All right, thank you so much. Maybe there is some karma in Prague. 6 medals, 7 World Hockey Championship tournaments. There's gold in 59 and 38. You guys remember that, don't you? No, maybe not. It's been a terrific World Championship in so many ways. Attendance record in the Czech Republic, Jágr Mania, the reaction by a Latvian goaltender, lots of beer and partying, of course, but here are the top 10 World Championship moments so far.
Centering pass, but nobody there. That shot blocked in front. And here comes France. What an opportunity. Breakaway. DeRosier stopped. Unbelievable save from Masalskis.
Edgars Masalskis turns aside a breakaway from DeRosier with 8 seconds remaining.
Wow.
In on Yakovlev, save made, Bobrovsky. Rebound, Lindell, cross ice, Barkov, Bobrovsky robs Alexander Barkov. What a save by Bobrovsky.
Wow.
Being watched there by Eichel. Eichel takes it away. Jack Eichel with that long reach to the backdoor score.
He strips the puck, but watch the patience here. Little under the stick move. Drives hard to the net, quick strides. Nelson just follows up. It's Jack Eichel who makes this happen.
Now Barry taken down behind the goal as he was hit a chance from outside. Michael Jordan misses. Cervenka shoots. Oh, what a save by Mike Smith. He comes across and takes a sure goal away from Cervenka. For Voracek, walks in and shoots and deflects down, rebound, score! It's Jágr, and the game is tied. Here comes Jágr, losing the silent goal, works it back, but he scores! Jaromír Jágr has given the Czechs the lead. Kovalchuk, and Pecorine got the pad out. I don't believe it.
What a save by Pecorine.
Long pass to Jágr as he'll reset. Backhand pass up ahead. Here comes Voracek. He'll fire. Voracek scores.
Look at this pass. Oh my. Jaromír Jágr right on the tape in full flight to Voracek off the pad of Paulmeyer.
Lots of scoring chances so far. Long lead pass for Crosby. Through the middle for Jordan Eberle. Busting it as Eberle gets it, plays it across. They score! Taylor Hall taps it home.
What an incredible catch of this breakout pass by Sidney Crosby in the middle of the ice. Then Taylor Hall skates right by Naklado, and Eberle touches the pass to him.
Cross ice. Sergei Kostitsyn jams it to the front. Oh, Pecorine absolutely robs Gavris.
Wow, what a save.
Here comes Ilya Kovalchuk. A little bit of room down the right side. Kovalchuk walks in, scores!
Kovalchuk off to the races. He's looking past when he shoots this. Doesn't look at the net, just shoots the puck, a no-look shot.
10 great moments, thousands of memories, and a lot of people. This is only to date. They still have one more game left, so you can add to the Czech Republic, setting an attendance record here at the World Hockey Championship. Dan Hamhuis has his gear on, ready to go. 15 minutes away from puck drop. The World Hockey Championship, the gold medal game. Canada and Russia, buckle up, everybody. Here we go.
What more could you ask for? A packed house.
Russia and Canada is always nice.
You know, the color we're looking for isn't silver.
Here we go again.
Hockey's oldest and greatest rivalry is renewed.
And he's done it! And scored for Canada! Undefeated in international play.
the gold medal for Russia.
For the second straight year, they rock their rivals.
This is the greatest collapse in the history of the World Junior.
The great ones know how to elevate, and Alexander Ovechkin clearly is elevated.
Russia will play Canada for the gold medal at the 2015 World Hockey Championship.
So there were just two teams remain in the hunt for the gold medal at the World Hockey Championship, and could it be any sweeter? The dream final, Russia, Canada, have only met 3 times before since '92 Worlds or Olympics for gold. Sidney Crosby, Alex Ovechkin have never met for a championship. They will meet head on here. Ovi, Crosby, Russia, Canada. It is a sweet final. Hi, everybody. Rod Black, along with Bob Airy, Dave Reed. Welcome back to our World Championship coverage from the Czech Republic. And so you have the defending Olympic champions. You have the defending world champions. Russia ran the table last year. 10-0. Canada has a chance to do that today. But in their way is the Russian Bear. To call this game, Gord Miller and Ray Ferraro in Prague.
And so it's the 2 highest scoring teams in the tournament. Canada with 60 goals so far. The Russians with 39, but they've had Alexander Ovechkin for 1 game, and he scored in it.
Yeah, and when you think about the Russians' offense, it would be Ovechkin and Kovalchuk and Malkin. Yet their 2 top goal scorers, Mozyakin and Panarin, have 6 and 5 goals between them. The Russians are a dangerous team off the rush. They can cycle the puck, but where they're going to do their most damage is if they can get out into the open ice and really push the pace of the game, so the Canadian defense has to back up and then look for one of those 5 guys to open up for a one-timer. They can really shoot the puck.
What about for Canada?
Well, of course, it's the depth of the lineup. You think about Sidney Crosby, and he's got a point in every game. But Taylor Hall and Jordan Eberle, his wingers, have had really good tournaments. Tyler Sagan's got 8 goals. Jason Spezza has had a fantastic tournament. Brent Burns from the backhand creates another wave of offense for this Canadian team. The different ways they can come at you are so varied, it's been almost impossible for anyone to stop in this tournament.
Canada looking for its first gold medal since 2007. The Russians looking for their 5th in the last 8 years.
These 2 teams met in 09 and 08. Russia won both times. Here's the star-studded Team Canada lineup. They have the top 4 point getters in the tournament. Sidney Crosby centers between Hall and Eberle, Giroux, Sagan, and Riley down, and the list we go. And I know everybody's talking about Canada, Russia, and talk about Paul Henderson in '84 and '87 and all the history and classics, but we are also talking about Ovechkin and Crosby.
Yeah, and why not? You got this marquee matchup. They both made their phone calls, and there's a lot of talk about offense, but I think Canada's going to win this same way they did it in Sochi. Defense, solid defense, and it's going to be Hamhuis and Burns, who's been unbelievable. He's been on the ice more than the Zamboni has. This guy has been fantastic, plus 11, and even when you think he's beat, he's not. So it's more than just the beard. It's more than just his offense. Defensively, he's been the man. He shut down Jágr. He's got to shut down Ovechkin, who had 53 goals and won the Rocket Richard Award.
Go back to the Olympics in Sochi. Canada was so disciplined, so good defensively, but their defensemen are also capable of scoring, Dave Reed.
All this tournament, you talk about the great forwards and the great offense that Canada brings. Well, a lot of that offense is created by the likes of Brent Burns. Bob, you talked about how well defensively he's playing. 11 points in this tournament. He's been absolutely outstanding. Aaron Ekblad, what an coming out at the World Championship for this young player. Patrick Wirkosh getting on the board. 7 defensemen have been scoring at will. Canada's defense are by far and away the best group of offensive players on the back end in this tournament. Stats-wise, there is no comparison. 42 points for Team Canada's defense, 15 points for Russia's defense. No comparison there. If you wash the forwards out for both teams, the offense is going to come from Canada's defense. They've done it all tournament, and I don't expect it to change in the gold medal game.
Well, if there is a forward that you might think might be able to pot 1 or 2 in this game, it might be Jason Spezza. He is the tournament's leading point getter. He's with Brian Mudryk.
Jason, this is what you guys have worked so hard for. What do you want to see from you and your teammates here in the first 20 and going forward?
Well, we got to have a good start. We know it's going to be a quick game to start, and we're just going to play the way we've played all tournament.
You have a lot of firepower. Alex Ovechkin added. You know him well as well from the NHL. What do the forwards have to do to help out the D with their star players?
Yeah, we know they have some dynamic offensive guys. We got to make sure we cycle the puck and make them play on their own end. They're talented guys. They can shoot the puck, but if they play down their own end, we should be able to control the game.
Good luck.
Thanks.
How much fun is this going to be, guys?
Stay out of the box. That's all I can say, Reader.
Absolutely. Best power plays in the tournament, both teams.
Brent Burns, Evgeny Malkin. We move closer to the gold medal game.
The 2015 IIHF World Hockey Championship from Prague and Ostrava, Czech Republic is brought to you by RBC. Proud to support hockey in Canada to help more kids reach their someday. By Imperial Oil. The Esso brand is the proud sponsor of Hockey Canada and Team Canada. By Nike, official gear of Canada's national hockey teams. And by TELUS, the biggest fans of Canada's biggest game. The 2015 IIHF World Hockey Championship from Prague and Ostrava, Czech Republic is brought to you by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Starting goalies brought to you by Chevrolet. We've got a lot of different rivalries here. We've got Washington, Pittsburgh. We've got Arizona, Columbus.
Well, there's a reason Columbus is going to be good in the future. Sergei Bobrovsky has been absolutely outstanding, and in this tournament, he seems to be the best of the best. And Mike Smith is definitely going to be challenged, but for Bobrovsky, he was the MVP, best goaltender in the tournament, not MVP of the tournament, best goaltender of the tournament last year as he won gold medal. That stat on the bottom, he's 5-0 in playoff games in the last two World Championships last year and this year. And how about his performance against the USA? 35 stops against the USA in a 4-0 win. 4 goals by Russia in the third period. There's a reason that Russia is here, and it's Sergei Bobrovsky. There's a reason that Columbus is going to be in the playoffs in the future and for many years to come. It's Sergei Bobrovsky.
There's a reason Canada's here, too. Mike Smith has been outstanding.
Yeah, what about Mike?
What about him?
Yeah, the heck with Bob. What about Mike? Mike has been 137, 16 of shutout hockey, 51 straight saves throughout that. And you know what? His saves are timely. Not a lot of second opportunities for the opposition. Team Canada's been doing a great job clearing those pucks away. But for Mike Smith, an opportunity as a veteran to wipe out his season with the Arizona Coyotes, which we would all admit was not very successful. Come over here, chance to win gold, and Smith's got the opportunity.
So here we go, guys. Canada, Russia. You know, you don't have to say much more than the great rivalry. Will this be Ali and Frazier, or will this be Pacquiao and Mayweather and not live up to the hype?
Well, I didn't see the ladder, so I'll go Ali Frazier.
Okay, there you go.
This is a heavyweight bout. This is a heavyweight bout.
This is heavyweight.
Brought out the heavy artillery. They have Crosby and Ovechkin, and let's drop the puck.
Let's drop the puck. Do you foresee that defense jumping up? That could be a big factor in all this?
I think it's going to be huge. I think Canada's going to continue the offense. The key to it, like you said, Bob, is Canada's defensive hockey, but Canada's still going to score lots.
Going to be a great one. Can't wait for it. We'll take you to the Czech Republic after this for puck drop. Canada, Russia. Sidney Crosby, Team Canada. Perfect record so far. Jason Spezza, tournament point leader. Enjoy this, everybody. Gold medal game on in a moment.
Captain Sidney Crosby and Ilya Kovalchuk meeting at center ice and exchanging the traditional gifts. Canada and Russia will meet for gold here tonight in the 64th and final game of the 2015 World Hockey Championship. Mike Smith shut out the Czechs in Canada's semifinal 2-0 win, stopped all 23 shots. He has not allowed a goal yet in the medal round. Sergei Bobrovsky of Russia stopped all 35 he faced against the United States. And so it is the greatest theater in hockey. A one-game, winner-take-all showdown between the top two teams.
Both teams come off shutouts in their semifinal wins. The Canadians, I thought, after the first 5 minutes, played almost a letter-perfect game against the Czechs. The Russians 0-0 after 2 against the U.S. started to look a little frustrated. Bobrovsky, their goaltender, was terrific. And then the explosive offense, 3 goals in 8 minutes, put the game away.
Alexander Ovechkin will start on this forward line for Russia. Arrived on Friday, took part in his first game yesterday. Claude Giroux, Ryan O'Reilly, Tyler Seguin start up front for Canada. And here we go, the gold medal game in Prague. Dan Hamhuis back for it. Along with Brent Burns, they'll lead Canada in ice time. As they have throughout the tournament, Ryan Riley fires it down. And O'Reilly finds Tyler Seguin. A strongly pro-Russia crowd tonight. Burns with a quick shot, knocked away by Bobrovsky. A centering pass now for Ovechkin. And Burns knocked that away as he reached back. Now Hamhuis, a long lead pass for Seguin. Tyler Seguin knocks it down. He fires, and Bobrovsky knocks that away.
The Czechs gave up the lowest number of shots per game in the tournament till Canada peppered them with 41. They've already got 2 here. And Todd McClellan has talked consistently about the Canadian team getting pucks to the net.
Now the lead pass goes to Sidney Crosby along with Jordan Eberle. Crosby comes in, the puck in his feet. Taken away by Victor Antipin. And held to the line for the moment by Jake Muzzin. Now back in the corner, Eberle spins it back. Taylor Hall with a quick shot. And Bobrovsky turns that away. And back comes Sergei Mosyakin for the Russians. He scored in 4 straight games, but he lost the puck. Crosby to Eberle. In comes Jordan Eberle. A backhand shot, he put it wide. The game barely a minute old, and already 3 scoring chances for Canada. Aaron Ekblad fires it in. Racing to it is Matt Duchene. And Jason Spezza comes in to help as well. Spezza, the tournament point leader, has 14 coming in. Now fired in by Artemi Panarin for the Russians. And Evgeny Dodonov plays it around. Now Panarin spins back. And we've got a crease violation being called against the Russians. Dodonov was caught standing in the crease, and so the face-off will come outside.
What a terrific start for Canada. The Edmonton Oilers combination with a couple of chances. Eberle drops one to Taylor Hall. Hall wants to go up over the arm of Bobrovsky, but he makes the stop, and then Jordan Eberle made a real nifty move into the middle of the ice and slid his backhand just wide. Hall's had a terrific tournament, 7 goals, including what turned out to be the game winner against the Czechs in the semifinal.
Back in the Russian zone, this is Dmitry Kulikov, who has led them a nice time so far in the tournament. He turns it over. And now chipped in by Sean Couturier. Couturier plus 11 in the tournament. Has yet to be on the ice for an even strength goal against. Ilya Kovalchuk swings back. 2 minutes gone here in the first period. Kovalchuk, who scored the golden goal for the Russians the last time these teams met in the gold medal game. There's Smith with a quick save. Bouncing puck in front, knocked down by Couturier. And it's back down to the Russian zone. That'll be an icing call against Canada.
The Russians' first chance of the game is a shot from the wing that Mike Smith handles. Todd McClellan and Oleg Zarnak, the 2 coaches.
Narak was the coach of the team that won the gold medal for Russia last year, but he was not on the bench. He was suspended after an incident in the semifinal against Sweden when he got into a throat-slashing gesture back and forth with a Swedish assistant coach. As Dan Hamhuis has it now for Tyler Ennis. Lifts it back up to center ice, and Maxim Chudinov goes back for it. Chudinov, one of 7 members of this Russian team who played for the Gagarin Cup winning St. Petersburg team that won the KHL championship this year.
They were down 3-0 in that final series and came back to win 4 straight. So 4 one-game finals for almost half of this team, and here they are in another.
Now Giroux's lost it. Ovechkin drops it back, knocked away from him, and Claude Giroux counterattacking with the Russians changing. Giroux, rink wide, he goes for O'Reilly. That bounced away. O'Reilly banks it down. Seguin had his stick tied up. He centers it. No one there for Canada. And Sergei Plotnikov plays it out to Ovechkin. His pass picked off by Muzzin. Ahead to Seguin. Tyler Seguin in, shoots Bobrovsky to save. And the rebound cleared away by Ovechkin.
Be interesting to see if Ovechkin's got anything in the tank here. This is the second day after the long flight and time change. He was okay yesterday, not great. Better as the game went on, but we'll see how much energy he's got tonight.
David Savard tried to knock it down. Ovechkin got in behind him. Claude Giroux takes a swipe at Ovechkin, who shoots, and Mike Smith makes the stop and hangs on.
Well, that was a pretty good dash, wasn't it? Knocked the puck out of the air, and Ovechkin, a quick rip down the left wing side, and he tests Mike Smith. Smith, a sharp stop. The puck's knocked out of the air, and with Giroux chasing him, Ovechkin able to clear enough room to get the puck on goal.
Alex Ovechkin has led the NHL in goal scoring for each of the last 3 years, a 5-time Rocket Richard Trophy winner. Now back at the line, held by Morgan. A long shot pad saved by Mike Smith on that long drive. Now moved by Crosby to Eberle. Rink wide for Hall. In with Crosby. Taylor Hall to Sidney Crosby. Shoots. He fired it wide. And back they go the other way. A furious pace here in the opening moments as Hall comes across the line. He shoots. Bobrovsky knocked it down. Rebound put wide by Eberle. Eberle fires it back in front. No one there for Canada. And Crosby swings back to pick it up.
That's the second time that Bobrovsky's gone to catch the puck, and it's hit the base of his glove and bounced straight back into the slot. That one almost cost the Russians a goal.
Maxim Chudinov, long lead pass to Sergei Mozyakin. Throws it high in the air, and Evgeny Dodonov goes for it. Matt Duchesne, a hard pass ahead for Nathan McKinnon. His pass was knocked down. Shipachev played it back in. But now Jake Muzzin has it for Canada. Muzzin across the line. Sweeps it across. A quick shot by Spezza. He fired it high and wide. At the line, held by Tyson Barrie. Fires it around. Muzzin goes for it. Now McKinnon with Duchesne standing in front. The backhand pass bounced away from Duchesne. And Panarin comes with it for the Russians. Plays it down to the Canadian zone. Mike Smith way out to play it. Banks it around for Muzzin. Crisp pass ahead for Tyson Barrie. Steps around Panarin. And Barrie backhands that back down to the Russian zone as Tyler Toffoli picks it up. Fresh legs on the ice now for Canada. Toffoli. Lost the battle with Artem Anisimov. Now Kovalchuk drops it back to Tarasenko. Rink wide to Anisimov. In shoots. Glove by Mike Smith. And he'll hang on to that.
3 times the Russians have come down the ice to shoot the puck. 3 times Mike Smith's been able to catch the puck. Easy stops for him. Here's the last chance. Hall's shot is flipped out into the middle of the ice by Bobrovsky. He's got to do a better job hanging on to that. Eberle just cues that shot wide of the net.
Now Couturier for the face-off against Anisimov, and that's won by Couturier. Mike Smith plays it coolly. Cody Eakin looks ahead for Sean Couturier. Bobrovsky out to play it. Drops it back to Dmitry Kulikov. Hands it to the line, but not out. Held by David Savard. The rolling puck for Savard, who rings it around. Finds Toffoli. Toffoli chips it there for Couturier. Trying to center it. It bounces back to Couturier. In the corner is Cody Eakin. Eakin drops it back. Ekblad a long drive. Gloved by Bobrovsky, and this time he hangs on.
What a tournament Aaron Ekblad has had. 4 goals in it in the preliminary round. Played far beyond his age and maturity, and just seems like he's got no fear when he's on the ice. Todd McClellan, whose defense is run by Bill Peters, the head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, has just absolutely no qualms about having Ekblad on the ice in any situation.
Closer wins the draw. Quick shot by Sagan. Turned away by Bobrovsky. Now Plotnikov chipped it out, fired back in by Hamhuis. And Maxim Chudinov goes back for it. Plotnikov, rink wide he goes for Viktor Tikhonov, the grandson of the legendary Soviet coach. The lead pass goes to Sagan. Sagan's got O'Reilly with him. Tyler Sagan winds in, shoots, fired it wide. Giroux on it now. Banks it down behind the goal. O'Reilly reaching for it. Now Kulikov lost the battle to Giroux. Burns comes in. Giroux backs him up. Giroux drops it back to Burns. A quick shot deflected away by Tikhonov. Now Giroux on it. Low Giroux. Works it down to O'Reilly. Shovels it back in the corner as Canada's changing. Jordan Eberle comes on. Anton Belov, his former teammate in Edmonton, plays it ahead to Ovechkin. To Nikolai Kulemin. To Evgeny Malkin, he's offside at the Canadian line. No score here in the opening period in the gold medal game from Prague.
Okay, guys, we've got 2 cars here, and we're gonna start watching a movie in the Chevy Malibu.
He's flying!
Okay, guys, pause the movie. We're gonna watch the rest of it in the Toyota Camry. Hit play again.
What happened? You can't watch the movie. No network connection.
Who wants to go back in the Chevy Malibu?
Let's go! Peace out.
Chevrolet, the first and only car company to bring built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi to cars, trucks, and crossovers.
This is cool. Yeah.
Before you put your game face on, you have to put on the right gear. Get into Source for Sports for the proper fit and the Umbro gear to elevate your game. Source for Sports. We know our stuff.
The Irwin Curve Jaw pliers have 3 times the gripping power of traditional locking pliers.
and the power slot pliers go through wire with half the effort. Irwin Vice Grip Pliers.
A lot on the line here tonight. Obviously the gold medal at the World Championship. If Canada wins this game in regulation, it'll have a perfect mark with all the wins in regulation time and qualify for a 1 million Swiss franc bonus. That's about $1.3 million Canadian. In addition, the federation of the winning team gets about $1 million Canadian in cash.
Last time Canada went through the entire tournament undefeated and everything in regulation time was in 1958. The Whitby Dunlops were able to do that.
With Harry Sinden in their lineup.
He was their captain.
Evgeny Malkin plays it down. Smith reaches back to play it. Muzzin for Crosby. Rink wide for Tyson Barrie, who jumps in. Now Barrie fires it down to the Russian zone. Everly goes digging for it. He falls in the corner. And now slipped ahead by Mosyakin to Malkin. Evgeny Malkin squeezed off the puck there by Jake Muzzin. And the lead pass from Hall to Everly. And across the line is Jordan Everly. He was stripped of it. Now it goes back to Crosby. Centers it. Great chance in front, and Bobrovsky makes the stop. That's Tyson Barrie with another scoring chance for Canada.
Well, Canada's generated a lot of scoring chances in the early going, a lot of it with their speed and quickness to the puck. There's Crosby finds Tyson Barrie in the play, and a little earlier on the shift, Jake Muzzin gets a good angle to squeeze Malkin out of the play, and they both hit the deck.
Now Spezza for the face-off, but it's won cleanly by Vadim Shipachev. Scored a goal in their semifinal win against the United States in a game that was 0-0 after 40 minutes. And then you mentioned it, Ray, the quick burst by the Russians. Now a sharp angle shot by Duchesne, turned away by Bobrovsky. Bouncing puck goes to Duchesne in the corner. Matt Duchesne on it. Jason Spezza reached in on him. And now Panarin gets it to center ice. Shipachev looked ahead for Dodonov. That was knocked away by Weirkosh. That plays offside as Chudinov comes in.
The Russian defense's biggest challenge is going to be to stay up on the blue line and not have the Canadian speed back them off the line. In the first 7 or 8 minutes, that's really been the case. They've backed off the line. Canada's been able to drive them deep and have a scoring chance. A shooter 15 feet inside the blue line, he's the dangerous guy.
Shots are 8-3 in favor of Canada. Hamhuis fires it down to the Russian zone. Icing waved off as Belov goes back. Couturier steps into him. Now Savard steps up, holds the line, spins and shoots. That's fired wide. Toffoli. Tyler Toffoli drops it back to Ennis. Toffoli lost his stick. Tarasenko's got the loose puck. Vladimir Tarasenko, the St. Louis Blues, picks it up, tries to reverse it on Ennis. They collide in the corner. Hamhuis in for it. He finds Couturier. And now the Kovalchuk pass picked off by Toffoli. Tried to backhand that ahead for Couturier. Victor Antipin hit there by Couturier, and Kulikov has it. That pass deflected away by Seguin up into the crowd. Tyler Seguin and Dmitry Kulikov on the ice together. Kulikov hit Seguin during the NHL regular season. Put him up for 11 games, got a 4-game suspension.
Quite big news here when Alexander Ovechkin decided to, or the news broke that Ovechkin was going to jump on a plane and fly to join the Russian team that gave this tournament that has had just incredible attendance and enthusiasm. Another shot in the arm. The play of Jaromir Jagr, the addition of Sidney Crosby, and then Ovechkin.
And now that's an offside pass being called against Canada. And the face-off will come back outside the Canadian line. 11:16 to go in the first period. Peter DeBoer, assistant coach to Todd McClellan, along with that man Bill Peters, Jay Woodcroft. Also on the staff will be upstairs for the first 2 periods. There is Oleg Snarok, who doesn't stand behind the bench. He stands on it. Ovechkin. Down in the corner for Plotnikov, tied up by Muzzin. Plotnikov gets free. Cousins stays with him. Plotnikov walks out, backhands it in front, but again a crease violation. This time called against Viktor Tikhonov, and the face-off again will come outside. A major rule difference between the NHL and the IIHF.
Now, I'm sure a lot of North Americans hate the rule, and there was a debated goal in the Czech-Canadian semi-final game. But the way the rule's supposed to work is exactly like that. Before there's any shot on goal, the player goes in the crease, they blow the whistle, so there can't be any controversy around the net. The Russians already burned twice on it. We've got to be careful around the blue paint.
Now Savard fires it in for Canada. Crosby on it quickly, trying to drop it back. It's picked off by his Pittsburgh teammate Evgeny Malkin. Rick Whitey goes for Mozyakin. Through the middle for Igor Yakovlev. And Yakovlev got hammered down there by Savard. Puck loose for Crosby. Crosby chips it ahead for a streaking Taylor Hall. And Belov knocked that away from him. Malkin back on it. Rink Whitey goes and finds Mozyakin. Sergei Mozyakin, a long shot off the stick of Savard. It's up and out of play.
Mozyakin leads the Russians with 6 goals. He scored the game winner, as it turned out to be, in the early portion of the third period against the Americans. It's amazing on this Russian roster. You've got Panarin, number 9, who's going to the Chicago Blackhawks next year. You've got Mozyakin, you have Kovalchuk, and you have Ovechkin. You've got 4 right-handers that all want to play in the same spot on the power play, and they had to work around that yesterday. Really not very successfully, to be quite honest, but they're dangerous offensive players.
Now Panarin picks it up, and a quick shot by Shipachev, turned away by Smith. Victor Antipin back on it, plays it around for Panarin, who tries to kick it free, and Hamhuis steps into him. Hamhuis spun him around, lost his stick, but kicked the puck ahead, and now Burns snaps it ahead. And back goes Kulikov for it. Long centering pass for Panarin. With Dodonov. Panarin being harassed there by Spezza. Try to throw it back for Kulikov. And now Dodonov plays it back in the corner. The pass knocked down partly by Spezza. And Burns lifts it up for Duchesne. Matt Duchesne races ahead with it. In comes Duchesne. Centers it. McKinnon failing that shot. And Shipachev back with it for the Russians. 9:45 to go in a very brisk first period. Shots are 9-3 Canada. In comes Artem Anisimov. Way out comes Mike Smith. And he finds Sean Couturier, who banks it out. Back goes Chudinov for it, being watched there by Eakin. And Mironov lays it back up to center ice. Tarasenko fires it around. Racing to it is Anisimov for the Russians. Cody Eakin trying to pick it on. Puck loose for a moment, now swept out by Couturier. And Kovalchuk swept back to pick it up. Kovalchuk, one of the 2 players in this game who has a golden goal in senior IIHF competition. Sidney Crosby, of course, is the other. And now to Foley from a sharp angle. Bobrovsky to stop. The puck drops down. And Kovalchuk has it. Ahead for Tarasenko, but Ekblad steps up on him. And the puck goes into the Russian bench.
Really good start to the game for Sergei Bobrovsky. He's been under some pressure early on. There's Toffoli's shot. He stops it. The rebound bounces off of Belov and Couturier and gets right into the gear of Bobrovsky. He doesn't really know where it is, but he's in good enough position to make the stop.
So this Giroux, Sagan, O'Reilly line will get the checking assignment against the Ovechkin unit for the Russians.
There's the depth of the Canadian team, I guess. You've got a checker with 8 goals in the tournament in Tyler Sagan.
And 37 in the NHL regular season. Plotnikov picks it up. 16 KHL players on this Russian lineup. 14 back from the gold medal winning team of last year. And the puck loose in the corner. Tikhonov had it taken away by Sagan. Now picked out by Ovechkin. In a battle with Sagan. And now Ekblad sends it across to Savard. David Savard along with Ryan O'Reilly. And Savard works it in. And Savard quickly retreats as Burns backs up. Knocked away from Ovechkin. And Chudinov has it. Hamhuis back on for Canada. The only Canadian player with a gold medal at the World Championship. Hamhuis, a member of Canada's gold medal winning team in 2007 in Moscow. Crosby up ahead for Eberle. Knocked away by Mironov. And now Crosby brings it in. Sidney Crosby works in. Sends it rink wide. Eberle in, shoots. He missed short side. Burns back with it. He fires. It goes high off the glass. Hamhuis racing to it. He holds it. Finds Crosby in the corner. Down low is Hull. Sends it for Eberle. That puck bounces wide of the goal. Malkin up ahead now for Mozyakin. Chance for a 2-on-1. Mozyakin works in, shoots, and Smith makes the stop. Lots of scoring chances at both ends. There is still no score. Shots are 10-4 in favor of Canada, 7.5 to go in the first period. Shipachyov will face off against Matt Duchene for Canada. Duchene, the #1 face-off man in the tournament, wins that one back for Barrie. And Muzzin to Tyson Barrie, the Colorado Avalanche. Swings that rink wide for Muzzin, a two-time Stanley Cup winner with LA, who's playing internationally for Canada for the first time. Barrie in across the line. Tyson Barrie buys some time. His pass bounced away. Now Panarin has it. His pass for Dodonov, broken up by McKinnon. In comes Panarin to Dodonov, trying to kick it ahead, taken down by Barrie. The loose puck picked up by Duchene, and Canada counterattacks the other way. Duchene with Spezza and McKinnon. Duchene drops, Spezza shoots, Bobrovsky to save, loose puck in front. Scooped up by Panarin. The pass too far for Shipachyov. Aaron Ekblad for Spezza, taps it back to McKinnon. In comes Nathan McKinnon with a shot, gloved by Bobrovsky. He'll hang on as Sean Couturier was lurking nearby.
Both teams so capable of getting out on the rush and creating a chance on a 2-on-2 or a 3-on-3 where the defense will get up into the rush. Jake Muzzin was about 2 feet from a rebounded puck that Artemi Panarin came back to just get his stick on Muzzin's stick, or he would have had a wide open net.
Now Couturier for the face-off against Anisimov. The draw, won by Canada. Ekblad drops it back. Ennis to Foley. In shoots. Bobrovsky save. Rebound. Oh, 2 chances in tight for Couturier, and he missed. Now Bobrovsky has no stick. And Ekblad can't hold the line. Fed back in by Weirkosh. Bobrovsky quickly gathers his goal stick up. And Mironov has it back for the Russians.
2 fantastic stops by Bobrovsky on Couturier, and then Couturier chips the rebound up over the net.
Now Kovalchuk rink flat for Anisimov. He lost it, and Mike Smith pokes it away to Ennis. Ennis high off the glass for Couturier, who rushes in. Rolling puck for Sean Couturier. Drops it for Toffoli. In shoots. That dribbles wide for deflection. Toffoli back on it. Couturier looking for it. And now Ekblad holds it and fires it wide to the goal. Vladimir Tarasenko. Banks it off the boards. Back on it goes to Burns. Brett Burns. And for Tyler Seguin. Racing in on Victor Tikhonov, who led the tournament scoring last year. Burns in, shoots, and Bobrovsky makes the stop. Hamhugh steps up. He keeps it alive for Seguin. Swats that towards the goal, and Kulikov has it. Down for Antipin, who played for Magnitogorsk in the KHL for Mike Keenan this year. And this large pro-Russian crowd now urging the Russians on. Chipped ahead to O'Reilly. In comes Ryan O'Reilly. Drops it off for Claude Giroux. Giroux centers it at the foot of Tikhonov. And now Ovechkin has it back the other way along with Plotnikov. Alex Ovechkin in. Ovechkin's doing it. Shoots. He missed wide. And not by much. Giroux hacks it down. And as Mironov goes back, that's icing against Canada.
That's a classic Russian counterattack where Canada has lots of zone time and cycle chances. Here's the save on Toffoli, and then 1 save, and then the third one is off the crossbar by Couturier. Look at the reaction from Sergei Bobrovsky. Terrific stop, and then off the crossbar and wide. And as Canada dominates the number of shots, it's that one rush, the lightning counterattack that the Russians have always had. First Mozyakin had it, Smith with the stop, and then Ovechkin misses the net after the left wing into the middle and the shot attempt.
Yakovlev fires it around. Taylor Hall waiting for it for Canada. Now gloved down by Belov, who's pinched up. Malkin taken down by Hamhugh. Out the other side it goes for Mozyakin. Drops it back in the corner. Giroux racing to it. And Claude Giroux picks it up. Found Seguin, and Seguin lifts it back out as Canada begins a change. Belov goes back, being shadowed there by Hall. 4.5 to go in the first period. Still no score. Yakovlev puts that way up in the air, bounces in behind Smith, picked up carefully by Barrie, and now Crosby swings it across to Taylor Hall. Hall on his backhand, got bottled up by Shipachyov, centers it, and that's knocked down by Hall. Hall through the middle for Eberle, along with Crosby. Eberle drops, Crosby missed it. Now Tyson Barrie picks it up, and Barrie races ahead. Barrie flips it back in the corner for Hall. Plays that to an open wing, racing to it is Jake Muzzin coming off the bench. Loose in the corner. Shipachyov tries to play it. Crosby now takes the return pass from Eberle. Should be Crosby in. Plays it back in front. Muzzin spins for a sharp angle. Shoots off the outside of the goal.
Wozniakin had collided with Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky was still sitting on the ice. It was a wide open net that Muzzin missed.
Now to Donov for Shipachev. Shipachev back for Donov. He missed on the tip. Panarin works in. Artemi Panarin plays it back at the point for Kulikov with a drive. That tip just wide. That was deflected by Shipachev in front. Now Panarin back on it. Panarin spins and shoots. That was blocked. Shipachev fires. That's blocked as well. As that time, Patrick Wierkosh got in the way. And Kulikov banks it back off the end boards. Nathan McKinnon there first. Centers it. Loose puck. Duchesne battling for it. And skying was Kulikov to pick it up. Who plays it ahead for Kovalchuk. Ilya Kovalchuk tries to get a backhand away. Savard stays with him. And Duchesne looks ahead for Spezza. Spezza took to the puck, and Isamov finds Belov. He shoots it well wide of the goal. Tarasenko on it now. Vladimir Tarasenko taken down by Hamhuis. Loose behind the goal. Brent Burns races to it. And Burns lifts it off the glass and back down to the Russian line. Kovalchuk for Yakovlev. And Yakovlev shovels that down to the Canadian zone. Hamhuis quickly ahead. Cody Eakin busts in. In comes Eakin. Goes between his legs. Taking a shot away. Now Eakin back with it. Has a look back. And Eakin tied up there by Mironov. Now Barrie comes in to help out. And Eakin stays on it. Tyler Ennis plays it back in the corner for Couturier. Couturier looks back in the corner for Eakin. Mironov stepped in front of him. Eakin stays on it. Couturier comes in to help out. Back at the point, knocked down by Barrie. Fires it back in. Here's Eakin on it now. Under 2 to go in the first period. Muzzin kept it alive. For Ennis. Spins and shoots. They score! Tipped in front. Claude Giroux. Cody Eakin with the tip. And Canada has a 1-0 lead.
Tyler Ennis has been in and out of the top 12 or the 13th forward in this tournament. Tikhonov turns the puck over. That's a really strong play at the blue line by Jake Muzzin. Look how quickly Ennis gets to the puck. Ennis takes it off the great pinch by Muzzin. Quickly to the front of the net. Spin and off the foot of Cody Eakin.
Now, the Russians are asking for a review of this, Ray.
They'll flash the light if there's a review. The light's not on. It's a good goal, and Canada, 18 minutes and 10 seconds in, leads 1-0.
Cody Eakin with his 4th of the tournament. Canada once again with the advantage. This time an icing call against the Canadians. Will take the face-off back down to the Canadian zone.
Tikhonov had the puck deep in the Canadian zone, or in the Canadians' offensive zone. He wants to go to Tarasenko, but that's such a strong pinch from Jake Muzzin. He gets right up top to Tarasenko, keeps the puck in the zone, and then is quickly on the loose puck to shoot it off the foot of Eakin as he's just trying to funnel it to the net.
Malkin's fencing there with Seguin. Kulikov shoots right on. And Mike Smith makes the stop as now Claude Giroux has it. Giroux ahead for Seguin. Tyler Seguin works in. Seguin waits looking for the stick in front of Giroux. That pass just missed, and Isamov has it back. Trying to find Wozniakin on the breakaway pass. That's knocked away by Ekblad. At center ice, here's Giroux. He finds O'Reilly. Across to Seguin. Tyler Seguin backhands that towards the goal. It goes high. Ekblad from a sharp angle shoots it right on. Bobrovsky to save. Savard fires. That goes wide. Now Giroux back on for Ekblad. Fires it around Seguin. It's spun around there by Mironov. Just over a minute to go here in the opening period. And Ekblad pokes it ahead for O'Reilly. O'Reilly flips it down, goes off on a change inside a minute to go in the first period. And what a first period it's been. Andrei Mironov. Long pass ahead for Dadonov. That's knocked down by Hamhuis. Eberle chips it down to the Russian zone. A race for it. Taylor Hall gets there first to negate the icing. Hall plays it across to Crosby. Crosby works back in front. Crosby from his knees plays it across. Eberle got buried. And now Yakovlev has it back for the Russians. Rink wide he goes for Shipachev. Trying to come across the line. Delayed offside indicated. Crosby looks ahead. That pass missed Hall. It'll be an icing charge against Canada.
It's a Cody Eakin, who had 19 goals in the regular season for the Dallas Stars, is their third-line center, has been on the wing here in this tournament, and the puck just deflects off his foot as Tyler Ennis shovels it to the front of the net.
Anisimov wins the draw back to Yakovlev with a drive that goes wide. Bounces straight into the other corner. And now Kovalchuk back to Yakovlev again. Plays it across. Tarasenko drive blocked by Hall. 10 seconds to go in the period. Yakovlev down to the Canadian zone where Crosby's back to pick it up. Crosby takes a bump in the corner from Anisimov. Burns on it. And time will expire here at the end of the opening period. Some pushing and shoving breaks out between Anisimov and Burns. Cody Eakin, the Winnipeg native, has the only goal so far. Canada with a 1-0 lead after 20 minutes. Tyler Seguin and Team Canada with a 1-0 lead over Russia. After the opening period here in Prague, Canada won gold the last time the tournament was held here back in 2004. Mike Babcock was the head coach of that Canadian team. Heard Darren Dreger talking our first intermission about what a splash Mike Babcock made here in Prague when he and Ken Hall and the Red Wings came over. For a guy who wasn't coaching a team in the tournament, he made a lot of news. They came to watch Dylan Larkin of Team USA, among others. Larkin had a tremendous tournament for Team USA, an 18-year-old first-round pick. Americans won bronze earlier today, their second medal in 3 years in this tournament. Now streaking in, a quick shot there by Claude Giroux, deflects up over the glass and out of play.
We really saw an indication how fast Canada is in that opening period. 15-5 shot advantage, but their aggressiveness through the middle of the ice and their quickness that they can cover the middle 50 feet of the ice is too much right now for the Russian defense. The gap gets big, they don't want to get beaten behind. And like it's always been with the Russians, they'll give up the shot advantages. They'll try and play a bend, don't break defensive style, and then they want to attack off the rush.
Wozniakin dives to break up that pass, finds Malkin on it. Evgeny Malkin with 4 goals in this tournament. Did not score in his last 15 regular season or playoff games for the Pittsburgh Penguins. In comes Hall across the line. Taylor Hall spins back in the corner. Crosby on it now. Takes a bump there from Malkin. Crosby centers it. Here's Hall, shoots him his short side. And Malkin back on it. Muzzin knocks it down for Hall. Hall picks it out, rink wide for Crosby. And Sidney Crosby jumps in, flips it ahead for Everly, and flips down to Bobrovsky, and Sergei Bobrovsky of the Columbus Blue Jackets makes the stop.
Taylor Hall, 7 goals in the tournament. Early in the tournament, Hall and Everly were flanking Matt Duchene, and Todd McClellan wasn't happy with the way that the lineup looked, so they flipped the lines around midway through their game against Sweden when they were down 3-0. They put Crosby in the middle of Hall and Everly. Duchene ended up with his Colorado teammate Nathan McKinnon. Spezza and Seguin ended up together, and the Canadian offense went on a tear.
Now Panarin works his way ahead. 26 goals in 54 games for Panarin with St. Petersburg of the KHL in the regular season.
Be interesting to see how his adjustment is to North America next year as he joins the Chicago Blackhawks. Just what the Hawks need, another high-skilled, dynamic winger. He's very shifty, can shoot the puck.
Take a look at Vadim Shipachev, who scored against the U.S. He too played for St. Petersburg. Lots of questions about the KHL going forward. 16 players in this Russian team play in the KHL. Off the face-off win by Duchene. Ekblad around for Spezza. And Spezza had to take it away by Panarin. Nathan McKinnon works it in, knocked down by Belov. And now play comes. The puck was played with a high stick. We're told that Russian President Vladimir Putin is watching today's game after playing in an old-timers game in Moscow against former NHL players where he scored 8 goals.
Really? 8 of them. Huh. I wonder why that is, or how that happened. I mean, I'm sure he's really good.
I wonder what happened to the goalie who stopped him on the breakaway for the ninth. Alcantara wins the face-off back to Ennis for Hamhuis. Dan Hamhuis for Cody Eakin, who had 2 minutes of ice time in that opening period. Ennis shoots and just missed wide, and Eakin scored Canada's only goal. Now loose in the corner, Couturier. Kovalchuk has lost his stick. Burns with a shot. That was blocked. And Anisimov picks it up. That's poked away by Hamhuis. Dan Hamhuis. Up ahead for Couturier. Finds Eakin, who drops for Ennis. Tyler Ennis winds in. In comes Ennis. Now Bobrovsky down, wraparound, tries, scores! Tyler Ennis makes it 2-0 Canada with a spectacular goal.
Ennis had 4 shifts in the first period. Had an assist. Here's his 5th shift. And back-to-back 20-goal years in Buffalo. The first goal was created with his quickness through the middle of the slot after the pinch by Jake Muzzin. Look how quickly he gets around the back of the net. Ennis, a spectacular effort. Mironov doesn't shield the net. Ennis is too quick. Bobrovsky doesn't seal the left post off of Canada. Up by 2. 2 terrific efforts by Tyler Ennis.
Now he goes down to Bobrovsky, has to hang on as Tyler Seguin was bearing in on him.
Coach Todd McClellan was talking to us about the players that he was getting to know early in the tournament, and Tyler Ennis was one that he singled out. McClellan's been coaching in the Western Conference for a decade. He doesn't see Tyler Ennis but a couple of times a year. And he said there's something different about him. He hounds the puck, the way he skates on the puck. He really spoke highly of Ennis, and I'm sure he hasn't heard his opinion of him here in the first 22 minutes of this gold medal game.
A 20-goal year for Ennis with the Buffalo Sabres this year. When they hire their new head coach, that'll be his 4th in 4 years. He keeps asking us what the news is from back home. Kulikov looks ahead for Ovechkin. Swings it rink wide for Antipin. And now Smith way out to play it. Finds Barry. Now the puck bounces off the linesman right back in front. And Plotnikov couldn't center it there. Almost a dangerous play. It was actually the referee that hit. And now Belov with it. Lead pass goes to Plotnikov. Trying to find Malkin. Evgeny Malkin backhands it in, and back goes Weirkosh for it. Being shadowed there by Ovechkin. He looks around for Everly, who chips it neatly for Crosby. Crosby and Malkin tangle again at center ice. That's the second time they've come together in this period. Mosiakin down low for Kuhlman. He centers it. Goes back to Mironov. Mironov, backdoor pass, and a quick save by Smith on Mosiakin. And now Everly plays it ahead for Crosby. He's got Hall with him. Hall gloves it down. Canada needs a change as Hall chips it in and Crosby peels off. Andrei Mironov plays for Dynamo Moscow in the KHL. And Smith up with it. He must love the look of an ice surface that doesn't have trapezoids on it.
He can get out and field the puck and move it from anywhere he wants to. There's a lot of goalies that would be a big help to their team with no trapezoid. There's others that would be nothing but a hindrance. Here's Mosiakin. Oh, real good stop by Mike Smith. And another look at Tyler Ennis. Look at him get onto the inside edge as he's cutting around the net. He gets there quicker than Bobrovsky can push across the net. It's a pretty slow reaction really by Bobrovsky. As fast as Ennis is going, there's nowhere else he's going to go with the puck. Ennis bolts around the back of the net and makes it 2-0.
We saw Nathan McKinnon from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, congratulating Tyler Toffoli, or congratulating rather Tyler Ennis from Edmonton. 2 guys who had probably never met before this tournament. Played in different conferences. Now played around. Chibachev centers it, and Panarin fires that wide. Dadonov picks it out of the corner, spins around Savard. Dadonov drops it off for Panarin. Artemi Panarin tries to shoot it. That's blocked by Duchesne, and back down the ice it goes Duchesne in a race with Kulikov, and Kulikov got there first. Long pass ahead by Antipin. That's broken up by Hamhuis. And McKinnon drops it ahead for Spezza.
The Russians love this breakout where they post someone in the middle of the ice at center ice, and then they fly the wingers on the outside. They want the puck to go to the middle and get chipped to the wings with speed, but Canada's been too quick for them to even develop that.
Hamhuis up ahead for McKinnon. Fired back in by Eakin. He finds McKinnon onside. Nathan McKinnon centers it. Eakin, a shot kicked away by Bobrovsky. Now a long drive again taken by Burns, knocked away by the Russian netminder. And Belov has it. And streaking ahead, looking for that breakaway pass is Vladimir Tarasenko. Hamhughes stepped in front of him. Here's Smith out again. Calmly plays it there for Hamhughes. Chipped ahead by Ennis. Tarasenko picks it out, plays it across. Kovalchuk with a shot that rattles high off the glass. Back down to the Russian zone. Ennis on the forecheck. Tangles there with Mironov. And Viktor Tikhonov steps around Couture, who lost his stick. Everly tries to drop it back. Muzzin. Backs out of the line. Knocked in by Tikhonov. Everly drops it back for Muzzin. He was tied up there by Tikhonov. And the puck slowly inches deeper in the Canadian zone. Finally, Muzzin picks it up. He was knocked off stride. No penalty called in the play. There has not yet been a power play. Ennis drops it back for Barrie. Tyson Barrie works in, winds and shoots, and Bobrovsky kicks that away. Now Ennis back with it. Down he goes to Eberle. 5:45 gone in the second period. Giroux to Eberle. Back at the point for Barrie. Canada in the midst of a change as Sagan waits to come on. O'Reilly lays it in deep. Plotnikov being bottled up there by Giroux and O'Reilly. Played to an open wing, and now David Savard jumps up on Ovechkin. Plotnikov tangles there with O'Reilly, and at center ice, Aaron Ekblad holds it. The youngest defenseman ever to score for Canada at the World Championship is Aaron Ekblad. He's done it 4 times, including a huge goal against Sweden in the round robin. Canada down 3-0 when Ekblad scored early in the second to get Canada within 2. Now Malkin steps around Ekblad, comes in with Ovechkin. Malkin in, shoots him his short side. And Ovechkin kind of looks skyward when he didn't get the puck. Back comes Sagan the other way with Duchesne. Tyler Sagan in, shoots. Bobrovsky makes the save on him.
Huge stop for Bobrovsky after the 2-on-1. Two of the Russians' most dangerous players who don't even get a shot on net. Malkin misses up over the top glove side.
Russia without a shot on goal so far in this period. It's 4-0 Canada. 7 gone here in the second period. Smith, high off the glass he goes. It deflected, and there will not be a penalty. 2-0 Canada leads here in the second period in Prague. Just over 27 minutes into this game, the Russians have 5 shots on goal. 2 of their best scoring chances, Ray, were not shots on goal. Ovechkin missed wide in the first period, and Malkin just missed there in the second.
Every chance, though, has come off the rush board. They're not going to generate any secondary shots. It's difficult to score that way.
In comes Crosby now in the corner, taps it back to Eberle. Jordan Eberle plays it off the back of the goal, swept away from him by Shipachev. And now loose in front. Crosby spins and scores! Sidney Crosby! And it's 3-0 Canada!
Crosby has a point in every game in the tournament. His 4th goal. And Canada has started to strangle the life out of this game here. It's their quickness that is so impressive. They did it to the Czechs yesterday. Look how fast they're on the puck. Hamhughes gets to the loose puck on the boards. He gets it behind the net to Eberle. And it's such a clever little pass by Eberle. He doesn't pass it too hard where it would go past the scoring area. Crosby jumps on it. She's not very happy, but it's 3-0 Canada.
The day after his Pittsburgh Penguins were knocked out of the Stanley Cup playoffs, Sidney Crosby called Team Canada's management and said, I want to go play in the World Championship. Couturier hammered down there. The Canadians at that point thought they filled out the roster, but they managed to find room for number 87, put the C on him, and you talked about it, a point in every game. And Crosby playing for some history tonight, trying to become the 26th member of the Triple Gold Club, which goes to players who have won the Stanley Cup, the Olympic gold medal, and a World Championship. Crosby just missing the World Championship this year in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Either Rick Nash or Brendan Moore will get a chance to complete it, as one of them will go to the Stanley Cup final. So a
pretty remarkable accomplishment.
25 players have done it. 3, Peter Forsberg, Slava Fetisov, and Igor Larionov, have done each one at least twice. Now Tarasenko with it. And the Russians will try to stretch it out now as Kovalchuk comes in. Ilya Kovalchuk peels back.
There's the first penalty of the game. It's
buried. In comes Giroux, the puck at his feet. Spiel back in front. They score! Tyler Seguin on a sweet feed from Claude Giroux, and it's 4-0 Canada. Goals 44 seconds apart, put Canada up by 4.
We've talked about the entire tournament, about the skill and depth of the Canadians. This play starts with the Barrie pass to Giroux. Giroux loses the puck and he's got to field it. The vision of Giroux, the skating ability of Seguin to get up into the play, his 9th goal of the tournament. And Canada has a 4-0 lead, and the Russians finally call timeout as they have 32 minutes to find their way back into the game. But 3 goals in this middle frame have given Canada an enormous 4-0 lead.
Well, it's clear now there's only one choice for the Russians. They've got to get Putin in the game.
They got to get the puck first.
Well, after the goal was scored, Oleg Zarnok, the head coach, looked over at Anton Hudobin on the Russian bench, looked back at assistant coach, then shook his head. He thought about making the goalie change, it would appear there, but did not. So a 4-0 Canadian lead. A 3-goal eruption here in the second period for the highest scoring team in the tournament. Claude Giroux plays it around for Burns. Banks it ahead for O'Reilly, and Belov back to pick it up. Plotnikov had that knocked away. Ovechkin bumping there with Brent Burns. And Burns has been on the ice every time Ovechkin has. As back goes to center ice, Chudinov plays it across for Mironov. Ovechkin chips it ahead, knocked down by Plotnikov. And Smith out to play it. Drops it back to Hamhuis. We saw this, Ray, in the Olympics in Sochi, how much Carey Price loved to play the puck on the international ice surface. And now we have a penalty being called. A slashing call will go against Canada.
No, it's Malkin.
Oh, pardon me, it's Malkin who gets it. He and Smith came together, and they call it on Malkin. So in the second straight game, Ray, we've seen Malkin take not a great penalty.
No, it was elbowing yesterday in the 0-0 game against the Americans. I guess that's the slash there. I mean, I guess so. Canada gets the power play. There really didn't look like there was too much. There was no real argument from Malkin, though. He just turned and skated to the bench.
Canada with 11 power play goals in the tournament. Tyler Seguin has 5 of them. And now pouncing on it is Bobrovsky. And a hush falls over this largely pro-Russian crowd here in Prague.
This is not the game they were hoping to watch.
They've seen this movie before. They saw it last year in Sochi. Off the draw, Spezza trying to contain it. Back at the point is Seguin. Brought in by Anisimov. And Spezza took that away from him. Tyler Seguin now alone in the lead with 9 goals in this tournament. Breaking a tie with Philip Forsberg of Sweden. What a tremendous tournament for the Swedes. The Nashville Predators young star. And Seguin, who had not yet played for Canada in an IIHF tournament, has had a tremendous debut.
Probably be back, would you say?
Yeah.
Well, he and Giroux have really played well together. Seguin just has been outstanding since the early quiet couple of
And here
games.
comes Ennis again. Tyler Ennis tries to drop it back, finds Taylor Hall. Hall back with it now. Posts up on the power play. Hall walks in and waits. Swings it back to Barrie. Cross he goes to Giroux. Claude Giroux fires, and it goes off the stick of Shipachev and wide. Racing to it is Hall. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Hall with it. Centers it. Ennis back to Hall. Walks out. Taylor Hall shoots. And that's partly blocked by Mironov, and that goes up and out of play.
Gord, we have talked about the speed, the depth of Canada's team, and how fast they are. Where it's becoming evident about being the biggest factor is when they don't have the puck. The Czechs yesterday had 23 shots on goal. Russia has 5 in 30 and a half minutes of play.
And none in this period.
They can't get to the front of the net. They can't generate anything because Canada's too quick on the loose pucks. I talked to Miro Shatan, who is the ex-NHLer doing some TV work here back home in his country, and he said he's never seen a Canadian team at the World Championships this fast before.
Now drop back for Giroux. Claude Giroux with 20 seconds to go on the power play. Winds his way in, drops it down for Eberle. That missed. Now Crosby back on it. Sidney Crosby for Eberle. Spins it back for Giroux. Plays it across to Burns. 10 seconds to go. In walks Giroux. Back to Burns with time. Feeds across to O'Reilly. Back to Burns. Winds and fires. Bobrovsky save. Rebound. Loose in front. And Butnikov played it out. Penalized player Malkin is back on the ice. Giroux with it now. Plays it back along the boards for Crosby. Canada starting to change now as Crosby feeds it down to O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly posts up. Plays it down to Giroux. And Giroux takes a whack there from Tikhonov. Now Malkin just took the puck away from Maxim Chudinov at the side of the goal. Malkin works in on Hamhughes. Centers it, knocked away by Smith. Now Malkin plays it back down low to Kulemin. Nikolai Kulemin. He's bumped there by Hamhughes. Racing to it is Eakin. Now backhand pass in front. Malkin taken down. Couturier diving, pokes it ahead. And Mosiakin was inches away from having a tap in at the side of the goal. Now Malkin feeds it back down. Smith taps it back down to Hamhughes. Down there with Kulemin, the puck loose at the side of the goal. Smith hangs on to that.
That's going to be a slashing penalty to the Russians.
And now some pushing and shoving breaks out as Shipachev tries to draw Couturier into a confrontation. And to the power play when we come back. The penalty is going to go to Canada instead of Russia. It initially looked as though Kulemin was going to get it. They initially sent Couturier to the box. Now they've sent Taylor Hall.
Todd McClellan was arguing about the call or about the player. Quite frankly, I can see why he doesn't want Couturier in the box. He's one of his penalty killers. Taylor Hall's not going to kill penalties anyway, so you might as well get someone that's not going to kill penalties in the box. Canada will try and keep this Russian power play off the board. Their first chance tonight.
Panarin down to Shipachev, back to Panarin. An all KHL power play. Kovalchuk whiffs on that chance, and O'Reilly's away along with Giroux. Claude Giroux shorthanded with Ryan O'Reilly. Giroux shoots. It goes off the leg of Yakovlev. And now O'Reilly kicks it free to Giroux again. Feeds back to Hamhughes. Slaps it back in the corner for Giroux. Now Giroux got spun around by Yakovlev, and a penalty coming to Russia. This will go to the Russians as Yakovlev spun around Claude Giroux, and that'll do it for the power play 32 seconds in.
Claude Giroux was voted one of Canada's top 3 players in the tournament, and I don't know, there's probably some other guys, in my opinion, that should have had that or been in that grouping, but this is his best game of the tournament. He's been all over the puck. He's been all over the ice tonight. Strong, on the puck, creative with it as he set up Tyler Seguin. I think his best game of the tournament here in the gold medal final.
So 4-on-4 now, barring more penalties for 1 minute and 28 seconds and a brief Canadian power play. Barry off the face-off win, shoots. And again, that was Matt Duchene winning a draw for Canada. And he's up around a 70% clip in the tournament.
Duchene had a couple of 4-point nights in this tournament, and his role has changed as the tournament has gone on. He's moved more into a third-line position as opposed to when he was centering Hall and Eberle. And you talk about his face-offs, they're using him at 4-on-4. His speed has become a real weapon for them lower down in the lineup.
Barry across to Ennis. Tyler Ennis works ahead for Canada, pokes it across for Duchene. Now Tarasenko back for the Russians. Tarasenko in on Muzzin. Works back in front, drops it back into point. Mironov a shot. That was blocked by Barry. Quickly ahead for Duchesne. He's got Ennis with him, and Muzzin jumping in. Duchesne drops. Muzzin in. Back for Duchesne. Shoots. He missed. But that just wide. And Plotnikov battling there with Muzzin at center ice. Moves it ahead along with Tarasenko. Plotnikov with Muzzin staying with him step for step. And it's picked out by Hamhughes. 30 seconds to go on the Hall penalty. And Ennis picks it up for Canada. Throws that rink wide, and Burns had to wait for Muzzin to get off. There's been a slew of too many in the ice penalties called in this tournament. As Ovechkin comes in, he's poke checked by Burns. Ovechkin has been very quiet so far tonight. As Hamhughes goes back to pick it up. Crosby chips it back for Hamhughes. Now loose in the corner. Belov leaves it there for Tikhonov. He gets stapled by Hamhughes as Hall steps out. And Canada on brief power play. Belov chips that down to the Russian zone. Hall there first. Now comes Taylor Hall. Works it back in front. Seguin shoots at the goalpost. Now Hall back with it. Hall drops it down to Crosby. Crosby back to Ekblad. Aaron Ekblad shoots. That's tipped wide. Crosby racing to it. Crosby slides it down to Hall. Tried to center it. That's picked off. Ovechkin can't clear it. Seguin back with it. Fed back to Ekblad. Across he goes. Savard shoots. Bobrovsky the save. And now the penalized player Yakubov steps on. They find him with a lead pass. Yakubov, the defenseman, working in on Ekblad. And Yakubov falls on the back of the net. Yakubov centers it. That's off the leg of Crosby and wide. The puck goes up and out of play.
Remember we talked about Todd McClellan wanting to make sure he got the right player in the penalty box, Taylor Hall. Hall came out of the penalty box, raced down the loose puck. Beautiful feed to Tyler Seguin, and Seguin rings it off the crossbar. What a tournament offensively Seguin has. 9 goals. This is a shooter's dream. 9 goals and no assists for Tyler Seguin.
And no one in Canada will complain. Weirkosh on it, plays it back in the corner. Way back at the point, long shot. That drive from Antipin was knocked down, and Barry has it for Canada. Plays it around. You got a Canadian defender without a stick, but now he quickly grabs one. Smith knocked it down. It kind of bounced funny on him, but Nathan McKinnon gathers it up. Barry for Duchesne with Spezza. Jason Spezza swats it around. Dodonov on it, but Duchesne gets there first. And now Anisimov plays it ahead for Dodonov. Along with Panarin, Dodonov works it and shoots, and Smith knocked that wide. That likely won't be a shot on goal yet, but that was going wide. McKinnon moves it there, and it's kicked out by Cody Eakin. Anisimov plays it ahead for Tarasenko walking in. Tarasenko with Smith down, wraps it around, waits, shoots. Smith makes a save, rebound, loose in front. Anisimov couldn't get to it. And now Smith has lost his goal stick. The puck's going back the other way. Ennis in across the line. Bumps there with Belov. And Eakin back on it inside 4 to go in the second period. Hamhughes works it ahead for Couturier. Feeds that down to the Russian zone. Bobrovsky pops it back to Belov. And O'Reilly feeds it back to Muzzin. They have still not credited the Russians with a shot on goal in the period. It's 11-0 Canada at the moment. Mosiakin ahead with Malkin. And Kuhlman, the centering pass, bounces off Malkin's heel. And Muzzin plays it around. Kulikov throws it back in behind the Canadian goal where Malkin has it. To Mosiakin. Muzzin steps into him. Now Mosiakin back with it. Feeds back to the point for Antipin. Down to Mosiakin. He feeds Malkin. Centers it, and Mosiakin couldn't reach it. Seguin gets to it, butts there with Kulikov. Malkin centers it. Kulikov walks in, plays it across, and a diving play by Ryan O'Reilly to knock that away. Muzzin plays that to an open corner. Kulikov feeds it back. There's too many men. Plotnikov came on. Kuhlman hadn't been able to touch the puck yet, but the moment he did, it's too many men, and Canada will get a power play with 2:37 to go in the second period. And you can say they call it tight all you want. That was too many men.
Those are the ones that they're a little bit of tough luck because the play is being made from the goal line back towards the blue line. So the Russians are starting a change, but the puck comes right to the guy who's leaving the ice. You gotta play it, it's right to you. I mean, I guess if you could think about it and step back, you'd let it go.
He's also not looking behind him to see if the guy's off.
So it comes right to him, he grabs it, and I mean, there's only 4 whistles that could blow, and they all blew together. And so Canada goes back to the power play, up 4 in a dominant second period.
We had a chance to talk with Mike Babcock of the Red Wings, and we put that in parentheses, I suppose, for now. As Spezza comes in, Spezza shoots, that's blocked by Chudinov. And now Tikhonov plays it out. You know, Canada was so dominant offensively in the round robin, but Babcock was saying to us that as Hallbus in shoots and missed high, that the Canadian performance against the Czechs looked like the Olympic team and the way it played.
No room.
Spezza drops it down. Hall jams at the goal. Now Duchesne with a chance, and Bobrovsky makes the stop on him.
Here's a look at the Tyler Seguin goal. The beautiful Barry pass to Claude Giroux. Giroux looks like he's in for a moment. And the Russians can only watch the replay of Giroux's gorgeous feed to Tyler Seguin.
Next year's tournament will be in Moscow and St. Petersburg. Crosby won the draw back, but Kovalchuk stepped up. As O'Reilly has to retreat, Ilya Kovalchuk busting in, shoots, goes off the leg of Burns, and O'Reilly back with it. Under 2 to go in the second period. Burns ahead to Claude Giroux. Giroux swings it rink wide to O'Reilly. And O'Reilly back for Giroux. And the puck gets away from Crosby and back down with a minute to go in this Canadian power play. Now Burns got harassed there, but the puck bounces back to him, and Burns snaps it ahead. O'Reilly chips it up. And Antipin throws it back down to the Canadian zone. Since the IIHF went to this current playoff format in 1992, Canada and Russia have met in 3 gold medal games at the senior level. The 92 Olympics and the 08 and 09 World Championships, and the Russians won them all. Barry works in. Drops it down to Everly. Back for Barry. Tyson Barry feeds across to Giroux. 20 seconds to go on the power play. Here comes Barry with a shot. That's tipped just wide. Crosby feeds it back to Barry. The pass by Crosby picked off. And Vadim Shipachev buys some time and plays it down. The final seconds of this power play. Shipachev falls. He goes to the bench. And O'Reilly has it now. O'Reilly chips that wide to the goal. And Toffoli had a look at the Canadian bench before he played the puck. O'Reilly down to Toffoli. Gets bumped hard there by Kulikov. Jumping up his hand use as he spins around Mozyakin. In behind the goal, Toffoli trying to center it. Kulikov takes a hard bump there from Eakin. Toffoli picks it on the backhand shot. Dumped by Bobrovsky. Mozyakin knocks it down and plays it back out to center ice. Couturier with it. 10 seconds to go in the period. Sean Couturier shoots. That's blocked. Antipin got in the way of that. And now Toffoli back with it. Time winding down here. An explosive second period for Canada as they erupt for 3 goals and outshoot the Russians 14-1. It's a 4-0 Canadian lead, a period away from World Championship gold.
It's 4-0 Canada, 20 minutes away from their first gold medal since 2007. They are all over Russia. It started with a little rapper's delight goal from Tyler Ennis.
Oh, this has been incredible stuff. Is it all offense or is it just great defense? Smothering defense by Canada. Tyler Ennis led the Buffalo Sabres with 46 points this year. Eakin, drop pass. Take a look at the speed. Bobrovsky, look at his right skate. He can't push from right to left. And Tyler Ennis taking advantage of that goal frame that was trimmed 4 inches on each side a couple of years ago. One of the rules they put in to the National Hockey League and international play. And Tyler Ennis takes advantage of it. Boy, he loves to hunt the puck.
Canada outshot Russia 14-1. They've scored 15 goals in the playoff round. No goals against and great passing.
Great passing, great defense, and sometimes it starts from your own defensive zone. Sidney Crosby, set play. Hall, this line has been good. They did not start game 1 in this tournament. It was McKinnon and Spezza with Crosby. Crosby gets on that puck. Watch the tip play as this thing ends. Comes back around, Hughes, Eberle. Touch pass, Crosby elevates. Beautiful. Oh, boy. Defense, Muzzin pinches, and he's backed up by Barry. It's all defense for Canada. Look at the back checking, and Barry sets Giroux up. Talk about a sweet pass.
Yes.
Oh, man. Canada.
To Tyler Seguin, as in Cy Young. 9-0, Tyler Seguin. Leading goal scorer in the tournament. Canada's suffocating D. Lots of offense, and Captain Sidney Crosby is 20 minutes away from joining the Triple Gold Club. He's with Brian Mudryk.
Sidney, considering what's at stake in this hockey game for you guys collectively, is maybe that the best period of the tournament for the entire team?
It was good. Generated some good chances and capitalized on them. They're dangerous, so they don't give them much to generate a chance. So just got to make sure we play the right way and move the puck around and trying to make mistakes by turning it over in the neutral zone.
On your goal, was that hockey sense kicking in, or did you have a peek at that top corner available?
Yeah, there was a little bit there. I think Ebbs made a play to give me time there, though. So it's nice to have that much time in the slot. So try to put it there, and happy to see it go in.
Good luck in the third.
Okay, thanks.
Not to be lost in all this, Mike Smith, 177 minutes and 16 seconds of shutout hockey.
Well, the one thing they did lose was the trapezoid, and that gives Smith the advantage to play all these pucks and break out Team Canada. And that's what he does. Even off face-off, nobody's pressured him. He can handle the biscuit. He's made 57 saves during that shutout streak. And he has set Team Canada in flight time and time again. 5 in the first period, I counted, and probably another 5 in the second period, Rod. So that great puck handling abilities of one Mike Smith, very evident here. And Team Canada's got to play strong defense in this third period play, stay disciplined, and they're on their way.
Like they have all tournament, and they can make it a perfect 10-0. Tyler Seguin, this, and Sidney Crosby, beautiful goal, and Seguin was a highlight reel goal as well. Our second intermission will continue from the Worlds after this.
Russia down by 4 to start this third period. So much on the line tonight. A gold medal for Canada, which would be its first of the World Championship since 2007. A chance to hold the Olympic, World Junior, and World Championship titles in the same year at the same time for the first time. Not to mention about $1 million Canadian goes to the winner. And InSport, the marketing company that oversees the tournament, this year put up $1 million Swiss franc bonus. As the penalty right off the face-off. Ryan O'Reilly's going to go off. But there's $1 million franc bonus for a team that goes undefeated through the tournament with every win coming in regulation. And right now, that's on the menu for Canada.
Hockey Canada has traditionally used that money to offset expenses of the tournament, as you see the O'Reilly slashing penalty, but also to fund grassroots, to get the money back into minor hockey. So if people are wondering where the majority of the money goes, that's it.
And that's why Hockey Canada puts such a emphasis on getting players to come and play in the World Championship. And we got the referees talking about it in front of the timers bench. That's Vladimir Sindler, the Czech, and Tobias Burley, the Swiss referee.
So
you know what?
The reason is Tarasenko's stick broke because he slashed O'Reilly.
Right.
Well, bad break. Penalties aren't reviewable. I guess they could say, look, it's just a wrong call. I will say, if they reverse this call, I've never seen that before.
I'm going to agree with you.
That's a whole new standard if they do. If they haul O'Reilly out of the box,
they're opening. They are.
I've never seen this before.
He's a free man. How about that?
He's going to laugh here, guaranteed.
I don't think Oleg Znarok is. about anything right now.
Awesome. You give him the backhand, move it, beat it, scram.
Whatever.
No use explaining this. I have never seen that before. It's the right call. Terrific, great idea. But now are you going to do this after all the other penalties?
You are asking for trouble. If you do that in the NHL, you are asking for trouble. Fired down to the Russian zone. There's an icing call.
Well, they should ask each other if that's an icing call.
Okay, stop.
Yeah, I'm going to stop right now.
But the point, Ray, is the reason it's important to get top players to go to the World Championship, there's a lot of money on the line that goes back into your programs. And you talk about, Team USA wins a bronze medal. There's some cash in it for them there as well. And that goes back into the USA hockey program.
And when you think of the expense to come over to this tournament, you got to fund it somewhere, and so that's what part of the prize money does. And maybe the more important part is getting the money to the grassroots groups.
Now a centering pass, and the puck fired wide by Tarasenko. Tarasenko loose in the corner, centers for Ovechkin. That's broken up, and away comes Burns along with O'Reilly and Sagan. 3-on-2. Tyler Sagan in, fires. Bobrovsky makes the stop and hangs on. With O'Reilly digging for the rebound, Ovechkin shoves him away.
Gord, I will never criticize Alexander Ovechkin for getting on a plane and flying over here. I won't do it for Thomas Plekanec either. But to come in this late in the tournament and to have some energy is almost impossible. Anyone that's flown and had a 6 to 8 hour time change, your body just needs time to adapt. And I'm seeing an Ovechkin that's tired. He's a little bit sloppy with the puck. He just lost it down here in the corner, stuff he doesn't normally do. And I just don't see how it could be anything else.
In comes Malkin, now plays it across. The pass picked off by Hall. And now Canada breaks in 4 wide. Hall in across the line, shovels that across. Muzzin centers it, knocked away by Malkin. And it's usually the second day when you're more tired. And this would be day 2 for Ovechkin. Crosby picks it out, walks back in front and shoots. That was blocked by Kulikov. Crosby back with it. His stick tied up by Malkin. Loose in the corner now is Hall. And Taylor Hall takes a whack at Malkin. And Wozniakin with it. Up ahead for Kulemin. And Kulemin throws it back in the corner. Tyson Barrie picks it up, and Canada quicker to the puck once again than the Russians.
The Russians have plenty of powerful skaters. Just go through the National Hockey League lineups. They're powerful guys that can really skate, but they're not especially fast. They're strong, not fast. And there's a difference in getting to the puck, and Canada's had it all night.
Now Duchesne spins it down to Spezza. Jason Spezza pulls it out. The tournament point leader drops it back. Now fed across by McKinnon. Ekblad had pinched up, knocked away from him. And he and Sergei Shirokov collided center ice. Shirokov being used very sparingly in this game. Didn't get a shift in the first period. Now Tikhonov plays it back in the corner. And Kovalchuk picks it up. Kovalchuk in, shoots, and a crease violation being called against Shirokov. And Shirokov gives it right back to the referee. And then to Spezza.
That's the third one for Russia. 2 in the first period, 1 in the third period. There's Ilya Kovalchuk, who had another excellent year in St. Petersburg with 25 goals. 8 more in the playoffs, but all these guys that can shoot the puck and can be one-shot scorers, and Russia just hasn't had the puck near enough to shoot the puck enough. Just 5 shots at this point in the hockey game.
31 for Canada. And now a race ahead. Cody Eakin open the scoring for Canada. In across the line, shoots, that dribbles wide. Eakin back on it. And knocked off the puck. Ennis leaves it there for Eakin. Picked up by Tyler Ennis. He shoots short side. That was knocked away by Yakovlev. Back at the point now, Hamhuis. In for Couturier. Eakin being cross-checked in front by Shipachev, who gave him a couple on the back of the head. Eakin back with it. Cody Eakin centers it for Ennis. Drops it back for Couturier, and Sean Couturier had that knocked away. And a penalty coming as Belov comes to the middle against Canada. Belov flips that in the corner. And now another penalty coming. Belov shoved down Hamhuis in the corner, so it looks like it's going to be offsetting minor penalties as both Vladimir Sindler and Tobias Verley have their arms in the air, and this game in danger of bubbling over.
The initial penalty was in the neutral zone. It's a high stick. You can see it right here of Couturier as he gets the stick up on Panarin. But then as the play continues in the corner, Belov shoves Hamhuis. And it looks like Belov will go, as will Couturier.
Sean Couturier, by the way, +2 in the first period. He's +13 in the tournament.
Canada's fourth line has done a tremendous job in the game tonight for Todd McLellan. He uses Tyler Toffoli and Cody Eakin, Couturier, and Tyler Ennis, and he rotates the four of them around, but he stuck for the most part with Eakin, Ennis, and Couturier, and they rewarded him with 2 goals in the first 22 minutes of this game.
That fourth line scored 54 goals in the NHL this year.
That's a pretty good fourth line, isn't it? And they can skate. Again, that becomes the common theme, I guess, Gord, is just how well Canada's team skates and how well they've skated throughout the most important games of this tournament.
Now Tarasenko on the 4-on-4 drop for Ovechkin. He pounds that wide. Muzzin on it. Chips it there for Barry. By the way, one of Canada's most selfless players has been Braden Shen, who's played just twice for Canada, flew a long way over for this tournament. Lost his spot when Crosby agreed to play. As Ovechkin walks in, he's bumped off the puck by Barry. But Shen has been a terrific teammate by all accounts and supportive.
It's not easy to be over here for 3 weeks and not playing. It gets old in a hurry.
Now Toffoli shoots at the goal post. Tyler Toffoli brings it off the inside of the post. And Kulemin back with it for the Russians. Kulemin gets spun around. Malkin plays it back. Dropped back on the hard shot, pounded wide by Chudinov. Now loose in front is Malkin. Winds in a backhand shot, stopped by Smith. Mironov on it. Good pressure now by the Russians. And Muzzin outlets for Toffoli. This Canadian team also well over the salary cap, up around $92.5 million. If you're thinking of putting them all together in the National Hockey League when they get home, good luck with that. You could probably have 7 forwards and 4D. That clearing attempt by Smith at Jordan Eberle up high. Now he flips it down to the Russian zone. That's going to be icing, and Duchesne will stay on. 4.5 gone here in the third period.
Tyler Toffoli is not at a lot of ice time here in the gold medal game, but he's going to be a consistent 20-goal scorer for the LA Kings. It's his delivery of the puck that makes him such a difficult guy to stop. You see him take the puck in his feet and snap it towards the net. Bobrovsky not able to adjust to it. Toffoli already a Stanley Cup winner in his young career.
Yeah, it was huge that year in the playoffs. 7 goals in 26 games in the postseason for LA in 2014. Another guy who had not played for Canada in an IIHF event before.
Cut from the World Junior team in his 19-year-old year.
In comes Plotnikov now, feeds it back in front, just missed Tikhonov with that. Final seconds now with his 4-on-4. That shot floated wide by Yakovlev. 5 gone in the third period. Jordan Eberle brings it ahead. Kulikov back on it. Anton Belov back on the ice for the Russians. Signed out of this tournament as a free agent by Edmonton a couple of years ago. He played 1 year for the Oilers. Went back and played for St. Petersburg in the KHL.
As we're criticizing the Russians for not getting any shots on net, you focus on the forwards.
In comes Ennis with a shot that's stopped by Bobrovsky.
One of the real problems is their defense doesn't move the puck. There's not a lot of great Russian defensemen right now in the National Hockey League or here at this tournament. It's been a real weak spot for them.
Tarasenko slides it across. Bedonov with a shot that bounces around in front. Eakin swipes it ahead and finds Ennis. Tyler Ennis hacks it down to the Russian zone and goes off on a change as Canada gets fresh legs on the ice. It's the Crosby line.
And then look at this Canadian defense. Muzzin's got 9 assists. Barry delivers the puck so quickly up the ice. Brent Burns had a fabulous tournament. Hamhuis, who doesn't get a lot of notoriety, moves the puck really well. Gives him a distinct advantage.
Now Panarin centers it. Trying to find Plotnikov. That's knocked away. Chudinov back at the point, rings it around. And Slipashev on it. Throws it back in front. That's batted down by Hall. And away comes Taylor Hall on it. Got punched there by Chudinov. Back along the boards, Artemi Panarin. Chudinov rattles it off the glass, back out to center ice, knocked down by Seguin. In with Claude Giroux. Now Giroux with it, back for Seguin. In shoots, and Bobrovsky makes the save on him. Canada piles up the shots and leads by 4 here in the third. Five on 5 here, 4-0 Canada leads. Canada has a 5-0 win in its history against the Russians at a World Championship. That was back in 1955. There's Burns with it. He shoots, and Bobrovsky makes the stop. There's a 5-1 win that you know very well, Ray, back in 1961 in the World Championship. Which team was that, Ray?
That was my hometown, the Trail Smoky. There was guys that I grew up idolizing. Seth Martin was in goal, Normie Lenardin, Panoke McIntyre.
1955 was the Penticton Bees.
With the Warwick brothers. Ivan McClellan with the shutout. Those were the players that we all heard about in our area growing up.
And you heard about across Canada when Canada had that 30-plus year drought at the World Championship. Now Kulikov brings it ahead. Finds Mosiakin. Mosiakin works in, being harassed there by Seguin. He stays with him. Now played back in the corner for Malkin. Evgeny Malkin. Around for Belov now. 12:45 to go in the third. Here's Hamhuis with it. Belov steps up. The shots in the period are 5-1 Canada, 34-7 overall. Mosiakin on it for Malkin. Kuhlman standing in front, chips that wide. Yakovlev down to Mosiakin. Centers it for Kuhlman. Malkin flips it back in front. Belov with it. Smith is down. Belov tries to wrap around and rolls off his stick. Anton Belov, the defenseman, had jumped up there.
It's really the first extended pressure in 2 periods for the Russians.
Now Kovalchuk just falls, no one near him. An icing call against the Russians will bring the face-off back to their end.
What a disappointment for the Russians as the excitement of getting to the gold medal game, a chance to defend their championship from last year. Certainly excited about Alexander Ovechkin joining the team. Just for 48 minutes, not good enough to compete with this Canadian team. It's really been a terrific performance, and since the preliminary round has ended, Canada has outscored their opponents 15-0. Amazing.
Loose puck along the boards, and now it goes over the glass. Canada arguing that it wasn't touched, and this will be a delay of game penalty against Viktor Tikhonov for the Russians. Now, we did see a penalty overturned earlier in the period.
I was reminded of a couple of times where Crosby was let out of a penalty earlier this year. It's happened a couple times. I've never seen it.
So Viktor
goes from
Tikhonov,
bad to worse, Gordon.
Grandson of the legendary Soviet coach who passed away earlier. His dad also a player who passed away tragically at a young age.
As per our Darren Dreger, it doesn't sound like Todd McClellan will be not coaching very long. It seems to be rather shortly that he will be named head coach again in the NHL, as he should be.
Canada on the power play here, and Jordan Eberle, the honors, back at the point. Plays it across to Crosby. Throws it right on goal. That goes just wide. And now Burns back to pick it up. Brent Burns was the top defenseman at the 08 World Championship. Played in Halifax and Quebec City. And he might just pick up that honor again at the end of this tournament. Giroux plays it across for Crosby. Sidney Crosby posts up. Plays it back to Burns. Across to Giroux, back to Burns, to Crosby. Sidney Crosby drops it down. Here's O'Reilly. Ryan O'Reilly back to Crosby, side of the goal, feeds it back. They score! Claude Giroux! It's 5-0 Canada.
Giroux's goal and an assist. Crosby a goal and an assist. Ryan O'Reilly picks up his 9th assist of the tournament. This is a perfectly run play between Crosby, O'Reilly, and Giroux. Giroux's on the far side. Watch O'Reilly and Crosby change positions. Giroux times it perfectly. Kovalchuk gets mesmerized by the puck. He doesn't come down to the goal with Giroux, and it's beautiful. 5-0 Canada.
Now you start talking about this Canadian team and start talking about the greatest teams Canada's ever sent to this tournament. And this will certainly be the most statistically dominant in terms of goal scoring, margins of victory.
I mean, even before Sidney Crosby was added to the roster, you looked at it and you went, wow, that's going to be a really good team. And then Crosby comes to it, and there's almost another aura that goes around the team. And two players that have battled hard over the years in the state of Pennsylvania. Claude Giroux takes the feed from Sidney Crosby.
That's funny, huh? Those have been in some intense, bitter battles, and here they are laughing, having breakfast together this morning at the hotel.
It's really quite remarkable, this team. You know, I was lucky enough to play in 3 of these, and guys you might not like or might not know, all of a sudden they're your teammates. You're with them for 3 weeks, and now you got buddies that you never thought you would come across. And you always have a story or a laugh when you see them years later.
Just announced the total attendance for this tournament, 741,690. It breaks the attendance record by a lot. More impressively, Ray, unofficially the organizers said they have sold nearly 900,000 beers in the 2 venues, in Ostrava and Prague.
Doesn't surprise me in the least.
So, say 1/10 of the crowd is kids.
You said there'd be no math.
We'll assume they're not having any. In comes McKinnon now. He shoots. Bobrovsky can't handle it. They score! Nathan McKinnon makes it 6-0. And now, Yakovlev has gone after Jason Spezza. And Canada pouring it on here in the 3rd period.
David Savard chips it up the wing to McKinnon. This is one that Bobrovsky should stop. A little surprised that they're going to leave Bobrovsky in here at 6-0. Maybe give him a break. The guy's had a terrific tournament.
52 seconds after the Giroux goal, McKinnon makes it 6-0. 6 goals would be the widest margin of victory for Canada over the Russians at either the World Championship or the Olympic Games. And we are at the midway point of the 3rd period in what has been an extraordinary World Hockey Championship for Canada. In an extraordinary year and a bit of hockey for Canada. As Ovechkin fires, and the save is made by Smith. Double gold in Sochi for the men and women. World Junior gold in Toronto at the beginning of the year.
Tarasenko shaken up at the bench. He was clipped in the middle of the ice. I believe with a high stick. It was behind the play. Didn't catch it until Tarasenko was headed back. Here it's going to be here. Oh yeah, he catches a inadvertent high stick from Jordan Eberle. Eberle's looking at the puck, and he actually got cut. He got nicked up right by the eye.
Lead pass knocked down by O'Reilly. And Shipachev chips it back. Brought down by Panarin. 9.5 to go in the 3rd period. Now Panarin tries to center it. Giroux on it. And Panarin spins back. Giroux got dumped. Panarin walks in and shoots. And Smith shut down the short side. The Czech fans here are chanting Canada, along with the Canadian fans in attendance. No question where the loyalties of the host nation would lie after their country got knocked out.
Disappointing bronze medal game for the Czechs. Shutout in both the semi and the finals. Connor Hellebuck from the Winnipeg Jets prospect was terrific. 39 saves in the shutout this afternoon.
Now Tikhonov plays it around. Eakin got spilled. And Yakovlev plays it back in the corner for Ovechkin. Ovechkin plays it back. Belova shot tipped just wide by Tikhonov. Loose in behind the goal. Chirikov had it knocked away. Tikhonov knocks it down the line. His long shot pinballs around in front. And it's poked away by Eakin. And back out to center ice from Sean Couturier. Now Couturier chips it down to the Russian zone. Bobrovsky plays it around for Chudinov. And Dan Hamhuis picks it up. Everly drops to Crosby, in with Hall. Crosby tries to drop it at the line. It's picked up by Mosyakin, working on Burns. Rink wide, he goes to Malkin. Evgeny Malkin has it poked away. Now Malkin down, the puck's under his equipment. Crosby poked it free and chops it out to Hall. Kulikov works it across to Mosyakin. Winds his way in. Mosyakin plays it across. McKinnon no stick. Now Tarasenko back for Mosyakin, who pounds that wide. Kulikov back with it. Slides it back to Mosyakin. He shoots, scores! Sergei Mosyakin finally scores for the Russians, and it's 6-1. And the first goal allowed by Mike Smith in the medal round of this World Championship.
7 goals in the tournament for Mosyakin. He's been their most dangerous forward the last couple of days. The 34-year-old fans on the first shot. And as McKinnon has to go get his stick, it clears out a shooting lane. I'm not sure if this is deflected in front. No, it looks like it goes straight in. Mosyakin, 27 goals in the regular season. And Russia gets on the board.
See if Malkin does get credit for that. The shutout streak for Mike Smith ends at just over 190 minutes. And think about the way his year began in Arizona. 16 goals against in his first 3 games. He finished 39th out of 45 regular goaltenders in save percentage.
Gave up 4 goals 21 times in the regular season. That wasn't the 80s NHL. That's a lot of goals to give up.
Yeah, they weren't scoring 4 a game. Now Anisimov tries to play it back, so you have under 7 minutes to go. And the Russians finally have one.
Malkin does get credit for the goal. So for Evgeny Malkin, that's his 5th of the tournament. He had an empty netter yesterday. So 2 of the 4 highest scoring Pittsburgh Penguins in history are both on the board today. Crosby and Malkin.
Right.
Jagr is 2nd in franchise history behind the owner, Mario Lemieux, who had 1,700 points.
Shipachev chicks it down to the Canadian zone. Back to pick it up as Savard. Plays it around to Ekblad. Sagan chipping it. And now Giroux knocks it out. He got spun around by Plotnikov. Shipachev shoots, and Smith knocks that away. Kulikov back on it. And Savard to the Columbus Blue Jackets plays it around. One of 2 Blue Jackets. Ryan Johansson was the other to play every game this year. And Savard, maybe not the best known guy on this Canadian team, but been pretty solid according to Todd McClellan and the coaching staff.
There's been times where if his play's dipped a bit, Patrick Weirkosh's has gone up. They've used the 2 of them like one defenseman. They've done a really good job for Canada.
In comes Connor Ennis now. Scored a huge goal for Canada on a wraparound in the second period. As Cody Eakin has it now, he opened the scoring in this game. Played back to Hamhuis. Around to Eakin. Down to Ennis. Tyler Ennis spins back in the corner along with Couturier. Ennis still with it. And Tikhonov picks it up now for the Russians. Across to Kovalchuk. His centering pass. This Chirikov. And Couturier backhand to the head. As Ennis fires it down, he got knocked down in front of the Russian bench. And is slow to get to his feet. Inside 5 to go in the 3rd period. Canada that far away from making a whole bunch of history at the World Hockey Championship.
Yakovlev fires it in, and it goes over the glass. 4:42 to go here in the third period for the World Hockey Championship in Prague. But an extraordinary 16 days here in Prague in the World Championship. We'll take a moment to thank the local organizers, the people of Prague and Ostrava, the Czech Republic, for being extraordinary hosts here. 64 games. The friendliness of these people and their passion for hockey has left a lasting impression on anyone who's been here.
It's been a fantastic tournament. Start to finish, it's been well attended, it's been fun. Really a cool tournament if you ever get a chance to come and see it.
Now Kulleman drops for Malkin. Plays it back in front for Kulleman. He's turned away. Smith is down. The puck is loose in front. And Tikhonov, or Mironov rather, had that shot blocked. It might have hit Malkin, who's slow to get to his feet. Now behind the goal, Barry has it. Around for Crosby. Muzzin feeds it there for Hall. Congratulations, by the way, today to Fran Ryder of Canada and Scott Niedermayer, inducted into the IIHF Hall of Fame. Ryder in the builder category for her work with women's hockey, and Niedermayer, one of the greatest winners of all time for Canada at every level. Now McKinnon back with it. McKinnon spins back. Still with it, chips it back in front. Spezza turned away by Bobrovsky, who makes the point-blank save.
And Bobrovsky's hung in there. He gave up the one goal to McKinnon that he should have, but he was peppered in the early portion of the first 40 minutes, really, of this game. And there he robs Jason Spezza, who's had a really productive tournament for Canada as well.
Duchesne, McKinnon, and Spezza. And Spezza fired that wide. Bobrovsky froze. He was screened by O'Reilly. And now McKinnon picks it out. The man who opened the scoring in the tournament for Canada in their win over Latvia. Playing in his second consecutive World Championship. So much talk about how Canada had stubbed its toe in the quarterfinals for 5 straight years. Could they get over that hurdle? It did that. And now a chance to win their first gold medal since 2007 when they won in Moscow. Ekblad had it knocked away. Tarasenko lost it to Weirkosh. It's banked back down to the Russian zone. And that'll be an icing charge with 3:03 to go in the third period.
Sidney Crosby a point in every game next to Jaromir Jagr, the most popular player in this tournament. When Crosby decided to show the organizers who already had sold a pile of tickets got a real shot in the arm as Alexander Ovechkin watches Crosby with a wonderful goal in the second period and that sweet feed to Claude Giroux here in the third. As Canada's now 3 minutes away from a gold medal. Their first medal since '09.
In comes Panarin, poked away back at Couturier. Now Eakin has it. And Cody Eakin spins away. Cody Eakin of the Dallas Stars had a career year for them. And now the centering pass. And oh, what a stop by Smith on Belov. Mike Smith comes across, takes one away from Belov, and now sticks and gloves are up again. They got to be careful here because this tournament may be ending, but any discipline handing out can be carried over. So that a couple of years ago, with Griffin Reinhardt of Canada, who had to serve a suspension that carried over from the previous year.
Plotnikov, a really nice play out front as he gets onto the play with Eakin. Good work to stay on the puck. Plotnikov, who has bought out his own contract in Russia, will be a free agent, and several teams are talking to him about coming to North America like Yori Lehtera did last year when he came to the St. Louis Blues.
Away comes O'Reilly with it. For Giroux, Claude Giroux centers it, just misses Jake Muzzin. O'Reilly on it. Picked up now by Tikhonov, and Victor Tikhonov plays it in. Smith out to play it. Shirokov tried to knock it down. Now Sagan fires it in, and less than 2 minutes to go now in the third period. Canada won gold the last time this tournament was held here in 2004. Players like Giroux have fond memories of 2008 and part of each in the Czech Republic when they won World Junior Gold. As now Kulemin spins it back in front. That missed Malkin and goes all the way back down to the Russian zone. Back goes Aaron Ekblad. He's got some unfinished business back home. The NHL Awards is a finalist for the Calder Trophy as the Rookie of the Year. In comes Eberle now, spinning back. Jordan Eberle feeds it down to Taylor Hall. They might find themselves a new centerman next year as Connor McDavid arrives in Edmonton. Now Belov works in. He shoots. Glove down by Smith. He hangs on long enough to get a face-off. And there's 1:07 to go in the third period. Whoops.
Sometimes the change can be difficult. Get a foot hooked up on the boards and down goes Crosby.
Well, Phil Esposito fell in Moscow.
Everything's funny when you're up 5 anyway.
Exactly. This tournament has been a game changer for Canada at the World Championship. The number of players who bought in, big names who bought in. And the way they put this thing together won't be forgotten for a long time.
When you watch a tournament, you hope the best team wins. The team that's played the best and is deserving of being the champion. And Team Canada has left no doubt about who the best team is in this tournament and who deserves the gold medal. Start to finish, this has been a Canadian rout.
And the team that came closest to beating them was France. Time winding down here in the third period. 10 seconds to go. Canada holds the gold medals at the Olympics, the World Junior, and now the World Championship. It's a 6-1 final, and Canada has won gold in
This is the final score of the gold medal game of the 2015 International Ice Federation Ice Hockey World Championship. Canada 6, Russia 1. We would like to ask you to remain seated and enjoy.
Next time someone says this tournament doesn't mean much, show them a picture of that.
You come over here, you want to win, you want to play hard, you want to get the best results you possibly can. And it's a commitment to come here. It's over 3 weeks. You got to play 10 games if you're going to win. And Canada, start to finish, got the job done. They deserve to win.
And Sidney Crosby becomes the 26th member of the Triple Gold Club, completing the triple with a World Championship to go along with his Olympic gold medals and the Stanley Cup he won. Vladislav Tretiak, part of the organizing committee for next year's tournament in Russia. Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia, disproportionately represented in the NHL, and quite happily so. Stay with us. We'll have the entire post-game ceremony for you, including the tournament all-star team, the top players as selected by the directorate. Of course, the presentation of the medals. And Canada. Brian Woodrick downstairs. We'll get interviews with Canadian players. And now the Canadians adopting the Czech tradition of hopping. And for Ilya Kovalchuk in Russia, it's a silver medal for a team that is always so dangerous.
The Directorate Awards will now be presented.
So time now for the Directorate Awards. That's the MVP, top forward, top goalie, top defenseman.
International Ice Hockey Federation Ice Hockey World Championship is from Team Finland.
So Pekka Rinne is the goalie of the tournament. He set the modern-day record for the longest shutout streak at more than 200 minutes plus.
Gordon, I'm laughing. They're announcing the best defensemen. They got all kinds of preparations going on the ice here. I guess they're not presenting anything right now.
No. Brent Burns is the top defenseman. Second time for him.
And the best forward is from Team Canada.
And Jason Spezza leads the tournament in points. Is named the top forward.
That could have been a bunch of players on the Canadian roster.
And also, it's our honor to present you the Media All-Star team that will be now presented on the
So now it's time for the Media All-Star team that was voted on by reporters covering the tournament.
And the goal from Team USA number
So Connor Hellebuyck is the Media All-Star goaltender, even though Rene's named the top goalie. Burns and Oliver Ekman-Larsson on defense. Jason Spezza, Taylor Hall, and Jaromir Jagr are the top forwards. Tyler Seguin, who led the tournament with 9 goals,
and the forwards
gets passed over, but I think he'll take that for the gold medal. And one more cheer for Jagr goes up.
From Team Canada, number 90, Jason Spezza. And from Team Canada, number 4, Taylor Hall.
So the celebration continues on the ice for the management team led by General Manager Jim Nill. His assistants included George McPhee, the former GM of the Washington Capitals, Pat Verbeek, a pro scout for the Director of Player Personnel rather for the Tampa Bay Lightning, Peter Chiarelli, the new GM in Edmonton. Russians watch Canada celebrate again as they did in Toronto at the World Junior Championship. And there it is, the World Championship trophy, which will have Canada engraved on it for the first time since 2007.
Summer vacation begins. Players will disperse quickly over the next day or so.
I would like to ask both teams
head back home
for the closing ceremony. Both teams, please stand up on the blue line for the closing ceremony. Thank you very much.
So the teams now will assemble on the blue line.
All the teams will be awarded with the watch.
And it's time for the player of the game presentation.
Of the 2015 International Ice Hockey Federation Ice Hockey World Championship. The best player award, as selected by each team, will be presented by the representative of TISO, Mr. Roger Juliet, and the CEO of Teta Group, Mr. Philip Zapta. The best player of Team Russia is player number 10, Sergei Mozyakin.
Mozyakin is the Russian scoring star in this tournament. Once a 9th round pick by Columbus in 2002, he never came to North America.
The best player of Team Canada is player number 28, Claude Giroux.
Claude Giroux of the Flyers. Native of Hearst, Ontario. He and Sidney Crosby, who've gone head-to-head so many times, were side by side for so much of this tournament.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, the official marketing partner of the International Ice Hockey Federation, Influence Sports and Media, has set out a special bonus.
And now, a special delivery for Hockey Canada. By winning all 10 of its games in regulation, in the first year of this promotion, Canada gets a check for $1 million Swiss francs on top of the cash prize that goes to the IIHF. So In-Front Sports and Media, the marketing company that oversees this tournament, wants to come grab that check. Crosby's going to get it. It's about 1.3 million Canadian dollars. Crosby says, well, thanks very much. That might be the last year for that promotion.
First year, and you got to hand it out. What a dominating performance, though.
President of the International Ice Hockey Federation, Mr. René Fassel. Please welcome the referees.
So the referees will now be recognized for their work here. Vladimir Schindler and Tobias Verley were the two referees. Paul Carnathan and Miroslav Lotsky were the linesmen.
You can say what you want about the way international hockey is called, but it's very consistent.
There was no issue with the officiating in this tournament. I thought it was excellent. You're never going to love all the calls. It's just not possible. I thought they did a terrific job, though.
Congratulations and thank you for a wonderful game.
And they even reversed a wrong call in this game.
They got that right.
Now it's time for the MVP as selected by the directorate.
Will now be presented by Shootout Chairman of the Board, Dr. Winfried Palans. The most valuable player is from Team Czech Republic, number 68,
So Jágr is named the MVP of the tournament. Slava Leonard, the GM of the Czech team, will accept the award on his behalf. It was an emotional homecoming for Jágr, who came out of international retirement to play in this tournament and electrified it at times, especially his two-goal performance in the quarterfinals against the Finns. Now the presentation of the silver medals to Team Russia.
Russian Ice Hockey Association and International Ice Hockey Federation Council member Vladislav Tretiak.
So Vladislav Tretiak, the president of the Russian Ice Hockey Federation. Now, the medals, bronze, silver, and gold, embody two things that the Czech Republic is famous for. For years, the Czechs were the only makers of pucks for all the leagues around the world. And crystal. These are crystal pucks, Bohemian crystal, for which the Czechs are world famous.
It's a very unique medal. They look spectacular. And you mentioned today, Gord, at the end of the bronze medal game, that the team that wins the bronze is always much happier than the team that is awarded the silver medal, and it's because you lose. And the Russians, after receiving their medals, skate down to shake the hands of the Canadians at the far blue line.
By the way, the Russians, the host nation next year, will find out what the pools will be for next year. In a couple of days, the IIHF World Rankings will be calculated. As the handshakes continue here, Znarok was suspended for the gold medal game last year. Vladislav Tretiak was on hand earlier today to see Dominik Hasek inducted into the IIHF Hall of Fame. Ilya Kovalchuk playing in his 10th World Championship. Two-time gold medalist for the Russians. Kenny Malkin will meet up with some old friends along the line, opponents and friends. And Canada's win today comes on the 60th anniversary of the Penticton V's World Championship in 1955. So the Russians have their silver.
Please welcome the captain of Team Russia to accept the second
Now they'll get the second place award.
Number 71,
And it'll be Captain Ilya Kovalchuk. Last 3 years in the KHL after being allowed to leave New Jersey. There's been some talk he'd like to get back to the National Hockey League, but there's some procedural barriers in the way for him. And now the moment that Canada has waited 8 years for.
by Hockey Canada the chairman of the board, Mr. Joe Drago, and the president of the International Ice Hockey Federation, Mr. René Fassel.
So the presentation now of the gold medals to Canada.
Champion and the winner of the gold medal of the 2015 International Ice Hockey Federation Ice Hockey World Championship is
Joe Drago, the chairman of the board for Hockey Canada. Sidney Crosby, Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. Dan Hamhughes, Smithers, BC. Jason Spezza, Toronto. Nathan McKinnon, Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. Mike Smith, Kingston, Ontario. Tyson Berry, Victoria, BC. Braden Shen, Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Claude Giroux, Hearst, Ontario. Tyler Sagan, Toronto, Ontario. Jake Muzzin from Woodstock, Ontario. Tyler Toffoli from Toronto. Tyler Ennis from Edmonton. Taylor Hall from Kingston, Ontario. Martin Jones from Vancouver. Matt Duchesne from Haliburton, Ontario. Cody Eakin from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Jordan Eberle from Regina. Ryan O'Reilly from Varna, Ontario. Brent Burns from Barrie. Patrick Weirkosh from Maple Ridge, BC. David Savard from St. Hyacinthe, Quebec. Aaron Ekblad from Belle River, Ontario. Sean Couturier from Bathurst, New Brunswick. Your 2015 World Champions for Canada. And the coaching staff, Peter DeBoer, Jay Woodcroft. The training staff. And of course the head coach, Todd McClellan. The Russians now salute the fans here. So many came from Russia. The streets filled with Russian fans the last few days. And the Canadians join in that applause. And the Russians make their way off. Now we better as the host nation next year in St. Petersburg and Moscow.
The International Ice Hockey Federation World Championship Trophy will now be presented by the president of the International Ice Hockey Federation, René Fassel. Please welcome the captain of Team Canada to receive the International Ice Hockey Federation World Championship.
These two guys know each other pretty well. Twice at the Olympics, now at the World Championship. Also a World Junior Champion for Canada, Sidney Crosby, back in 2005. He's got his triple gold.
2 hours after being eliminated, he called Jim Nill that he wanted to come and play in a season that ended in disappointment. He wanted a chance to keep playing, and 3 weeks later, they win the World Championship. Dan Hamhughes was the only player that had won one before. Just watching the guys, they better be careful on that
Confetti's hard to skate on. Mike Smith, who had played in the World Championship before, lost in a shootout in 2013 to the Swedes in the quarterfinal. Brent Burns has been here before. Lost in overtime to the Russians in 2008. And here is René Fassel.
Congratulations, Team Canada. Огромное вам спасибо, русские болельщики. Спасибо. Great hockey fans, 741,690 world record. You are world champion. Thank you very much. On behalf of the International Ice Hockey Federation, I declare the World Championship 2015 in Prague and Ostrava closed. See you in Moscow and St. Petersburg. Thank you.
And now, I invite you to please stand up for the national anthem of the world champion, Team Canada. National anthem of Canada will be performed by IIHF, Prague Philharmonia.
The 2015 IIHF World Hockey Championship from Prague and Ostrava, Czech Republic is brought to you by RBC. Proud to support hockey in Canada to help more kids reach their someday.